Welcome back to Trifecta Airsoft Podcast. I'm your host, E-Rock. This episode is sponsored by Skirmish, Airsoft Connected. It's also sponsored by Hefe's Airsoft Solutions, a company that puts the airsoft community first. Thank you everyone for being here. Let's get to the podcast. Welcome, bro.
Yeah. So, you've never played Airsoft?
No.
Okay, so why?
Yeah, I know, right? So do you know the history of how we started our channel and shit?
No, tell me.
Okay. So, real quick. So, a handful of years ago, I was, probably about 6 years ago, I was paralyzed with illness. Totally healthy my whole life. Paralyzed out of the blue. Like, a Saturday afternoon, I started feeling like my hands didn't work right. I didn't feel sick at all. And then hands didn't work right. And then 4 days later, I couldn't walk. And it's Guillain-Barré syndrome.
I know it well.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, my ex-wife, my last ex-wife, I've been married a couple times. She sort of the same thing. She was paralyzed and couldn't move, and they took her to the hospital, and they said she had Guillain-Barré, or however you pronounce it.
Right.
And then that led to MS, and she has MS.
Oh, dude, I'm so sorry, man. That's a lot of people don't know. These are like, as far as the symptoms, they don't have a test that says this is exactly what you have. They just go by your symptoms, and that you have with GBS, so Guillain-Barré, with CIDP, which is kind of like, so GBS, you actually, most of the time, people will get it, and it hits really fast and really hard.
Yeah.
And then it takes a long time to recover, but usually people recover, and it doesn't come back. CIDP is is kind of like the next step in that same category of, shit. And that you'll have lingering effects. You'll have it come back every once in a while.
Yeah.
I don't know why. That's actually what I have, but I tell everybody, nobody's even heard of that CIDP. I don't even know what this fucking shit is. But then there's MS.
Yeah.
So, which is Lou Gehrig's disease. So so it's like there's a lot of different steps to this thing. And when they first told me about it, they sent me in for a spinal tap to see if I had MS.
She did the same thing.
Uh-huh.
That was rough.
Yeah, dude.
That's rough. And as her former spouse, going through that, because when you're with someone, I'm sure you're married, when your wife wants to, or your partner wants to be there to support you and don't want to see you go through that pain and that physical exertion, because that's physically demanding on your body to go through that, because you're sticking, it's like 14 inches long, you're sticking this huge needle in the middle of your back,
right?
And it's terrible. So everybody knows MS, but nobody knows GBS, and so yeah, that's rough, dude. I feel for you.
Thanks, man. Yeah, so I had so that happened, and then my whole life I was very active. I played sports growing up. Went in the military right after high school. Spent 4 years in the Marine Corps. After that, I worked construction, factories, like hands-on kind of work, maintenance stuff on factory machines, production machines, and then this happened. So, my whole, like, I was one of those guys, I never went to the doctor, because if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I'm not going in for a checkup.
And my girlfriend, who is staring at me now, because she's going to, what I'm about to say, she wants me to go to the doctor, and she has been urging me, and I'm that type of guy. If it's not broke, don't fix it, because that's just a generation we grew up in. You don't go to the doctor unless you're dying or somebody's having a baby.
Yeah.
But I'm over 40 now, and she wants me to do these things, so I'm going to have to start going to the doctor if I want to live longer, I guess, is what her thought is.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm like, I never went. And then when this happened, when I texted my wife and said I went to work, let's see, this happened on Saturday. I went to work Sunday night. I worked night shift at the time, and or Monday night, and just like 2 days later, after I started feeling like my hands didn't work right and stuff, and I couldn't carry my tool bag up the ladder to go, work on the top of this machine or whatever. I was like, what the fuck? Like, I don't feel tired. My legs didn't work right. I couldn't go up this ladder. I texted my wife, was like, hey, I think she worked in a doctor's office. I think you need to make me an appointment. And she knew it was serious because I don't ever go to the doctor.
Yeah, I see that on TikTok all the time. There's a farmer coming in on his own. Yeah,
Right?
it's a thing for us guys,
It
especially
is.
guys.
So I was laid up after that. And, so like I said, I was active all the time. And I was going nuts, laying in bed. And, and then that lasted for quite a few months. Now I could get up. I would roll out of bed and crawl, like low crawl, because I could use my elbows. Like
Yeah,
anything close to my core, I could use way better than my extremities. So my
right.
fingertips were horrible. My grips, my grip was horrible. My legs, my feet, and all that. From my knees down, I didn't really feel anything. Um, so it was very difficult to walk. But so after that process of working through, I didn't go to rehab. I didn't do any of that stuff. I refused all treatment because they said there was this one treatment they could do, this IVIG stuff that
Yep.
was, you know, it might. And I asked the neurologist, does this stuff work or what? He's like, it's about 50-50. I said, can I get better on my own if I don't take it? He's like, yeah, it just might take some time. We don't know. And that's what I did. So so after I was able to get around a little bit in the house and walk around, I was able to walk down here and just sit in front of the computer. And I tried playing video games, but I couldn't hold the controller, right? Like I could
Yeah.
hold it would rest in my hands, but I couldn't hold my arms up. So they would rest on my legs. Well, then I couldn't barely I could use my thumbs for about, 30 seconds at a time. So I'm trying to play Halo or something or Division, and my guy's running forward and then he just stops. And I'm like, I can't move it anymore.
Yeah,
Shit.
right.
And
I was actually
so
just
anyway.
playing Division 2 the other day.
Oh, you play Division 2?
Oh, I love that game.
My
Yeah.
dude. Bro, do you know Pumbaa? Call sign
Are you
Pumbaa?
no? Are you on?
He,
Are you on Xbox or are you on PlayStation?
Xbox.
Okay. No, I don't know Pumbaa.
Yeah, he plays him and his buddies play Division 2. Okay, we'll have to get a group together, man.
Oh,
That's one of my
absolutely.
favorite games.
I was just playing yesterday. I played Clancy Breakthrough.
Mm.
I
Oh,
played Wildlands.
what is it? Ghost Recon?
Ghost Recon.
Breakpoint.
Yeah. Breakpoint. That's it.
Yeah.
Breakpoint. I play
So
that. I play Siege as well. But anyway, go ahead. You can talk about
what
that
is it?
forever.
See? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
No,
Siege.
dude, I love these games. Actually, I don't think I have. Do I have Breakpoint? God, it's been so long.
You can get it for dirt cheap though.
Yeah, I'll have to get it. Because I love the Wildlands one too.
Yeah,
Ghost
I love
Recon
Wildlands.
That was cool as fuck. So anyway, these channels, I started a bunch of YouTube channels.
Okay.
The Airsoft one being one of them. I think the Airsoft one was the third YouTube channel I started,
Okay.
or the second. So we started a review channel. And I grabbed my son. I'm like, hey, let's do some reviews on stuff. It'll give me something to do, and maybe it'll turn into something someday. Who knows? And he's like, well, what are you going to review? I'm like, fucking, I don't know. Grab something out of the kitchen. I'm not kidding, bro. Grab like a spoon or something.
I
Like a
just sent
kitchen
you.
utensil.
Nice. I just sent you my gamer tag for
Oh,
Xbox.
perfect. I'll add you today. Okay.
Yeah. I
So,
tried the logo hat, honey. My logo. It's in front of the Xbox. So I got a hell of a deal on my Xbox Series X. I got the new one, the tower one.
Oh yeah, nice.
I got at a pawn shop for like less than $430
Oh damn.
with the game with Modern Warfare 1, the remake.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah. Probably next week. I just switched companies, so I'm waiting on to get a paycheck for that. But I'm going to get the Harry Potter game, and I'm getting the new Modern Warfare 2.
Gotcha.
So
I haven't played the new Modern Warfare yet.
I haven't either.
The
So
newest one.
you got into airsoft
So my sons.
reviewing.
So I started these channels, and so then I'm working on like editing. I was learning how to edit through these other channels. I started a cooking channel with my daughter. She's like, "What are we gonna? You don't even like cooking. I hate cooking," and she's like, "What are you gonna cook?" I'm like, "I don't know.
Whatever you want to
Yeah,
cook,
you
we'll just
just."
fucking cook it.
So my wife had this old cookbook thing that was, it was all this random weird shit we've never used. Okay, she never used it, and so I'm like, let's try some of this stuff. Pomegranate, some kind of milkshake thing or whatever with, I don't know. And I didn't even know what a pomegranate was. Okay. So we started that. Well, then I'm learning how to edit. And then two of my sons came home. My wife and I have 5 kids. So 3 boys, 2 girls.
I have 5
Uh,
daughters, and then my girlfriend has a 27-year-old daughter and a
you have,
grandbaby.
you have what now?
I have 5 daughters.
Oh, shit. All
Yeah,
girls.
all girls.
Bro.
That's another podcast. That's another whole thing in itself. We just talk about kids. So anyway, you're cooking.
So yeah,
You're
I'm
cooking,
cooking and I'm reviewing kitchen utensils
and
on
you figure out
YouTube.
what a pomegranate is.
Yeah. I remember I posted this thing on my Instagram, my personal Instagram about, all I put was, what the fuck is a shallot? I didn't know what a shallot was. And one of my buddies who actually cooks, he's like, it's like an onion.
It's an
It's like
onion.
an onion. I was like, oh, I had to look this shit up, bro. So anyway, that came out of that cooking thing. But, so then my sons, 2 of my sons came home that are on our channel, and they were, like early 20s at the time, maybe 24 and 21 or something like that. And they came home and said, we're going airsoft with JP. That's one of their buddies they were good friends with in high school and stuff, or grew up with. And I said, airsoft? What? Those little fucking plastic guns I bought you when you were 12? They're like, yeah, but it's way different now. I'm like, okay, whatever. What is it, like a kid's party? So, because I was an old school paintballer.
Right.
Airsoft was the only thing I knew about airsoft, and it's a pretty typical, right, story about just the clear little pistol gun, springers, whatever. So they bring in, like, JP comes over and brings an M4. It looks real. He already changed the orange tip out and everything. And I was like, "What are you guys going to the range? We have a bunch of real guns. They do, and JP does." And he's like, "No, man, it's airsoft." I said, "What?" So it got me interested, and I was like, "Dude, we should do a YouTube channel on it," because I was already doing these other two.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
needed
yeah.
something to do. I wanted to stay busy, and that's where the channel came from. So we started our channel doing unboxings and reviews, because we were going to do gameplay, but they didn't really play that often. They all
Right.
three
There's no
work
point
different
in that.
shifts. Yeah. So I was like, let's order. So JP was talking about most of this stuff these ideas came from JP talking about him getting into airsoft and being all excited about it. He's like, yeah, they have these mystery boxes. I was like, what is that?
That's
He's
e-bike.
like, yeah. He's like, oh, they got these this one called a box of awesomeness. I was like, bro, what? I want to try it. That sounds
Yeah.
awesome.
I see. I haven't done that yet. I've ordered e-bike. I've spent thousands of dollars on e-bike over the since 2015 when I started.
Mm.
But I've never. I shouldn't say never. Not yet. I have yet to build up the courage to be like, okay, I'm gonna buy a box of awesomeness for $300, and whatever I get, because I'm that guy. I'm visual. I like to see what I have
Yeah.
before me. Like I know what I'm gonna buy, and so I just have yet to do that. But one of these days, I'll build up that courage and just be like, fuck it, buy a box of awesomeness.
I want to do another one, man. I really miss it. We haven't done one in over a year since I
Okay.
started doing these podcasts. And these podcasts. So that's what we did for 2.5 years of our channel: unboxings, reviews, and then every once in a while they would go to a milsim. They like 3-day milsims or whatever, the bigger ones.
Yeah, I do that
Uh,
all the time.
yeah, they don't play the indoor stuff too much. They tried it here and there, but they like the whole event experience, and So they would record some. So we have a couple gameplay videos on there, but unboxings, reviews, and then they all three got busy. Different things happened in their life over a year ago, and and it was very hard for us to get together. And then I started working again. So I got well enough where I could go out and start working. I started working, doing construction stuff like flipping houses. So we all couldn't get together and do a video. And it was like a month or something. And I was like, dude, I need to put some up on our channel, because we were rolling. Like I was doing, I was fiending for something to do when I was stuck at home. So, and I was on steroids, trying to help, prednisone, trying to help me, move around
Yeah.
and stuff. So I was hyper, bro, sleeping 2 hours a day,
Yep.
fucking spazzing out, and roid raging. But I was like, give me more, give me more. Let's film this. Let's film this. So I was doing 3 videos a week on our channel. Well, then we just stopped, and I was like, oh, I want to put out more content. So I started talking to people on here, and that's kind of where we're at now.
Right.
And now it's an
So
actual official podcast.
that's awesome. And you know what? Honestly, if I wasn't on Instagram, that one day,
Yeah.
looking at some random ass airsoft shit and came across someone said that, or some tagged you in a thing, and then I have ADD, so I went down that rabbit hole. So I tagged you in a post. They had just done a podcast with you, and so I clicked on the thing, and that brought me to your page, and then one thing led to another, and now we're here. But so a little bit about my story.
Yeah.
So I spent 4.5 years in the infantry, airborne. I did a lot of cool shit. Pre GWOC or GWOC, where the fuck did pre 9/11?
Gotcha.
I got
the Guam thing or whatever.
Or
Yeah.
global war on terror. So I got out in June of 2000. So I'm
Okay.
like pre, So I did.
Me too. I did. I was 89 to 93. So yeah.
Okay, I was 97 to 2000. So well, technically 2001 because they held me over for some bullshit, and then that lasted 6 months. So it was really, but my paperwork started in June. My D214 says January something 2001, but officially I got out of the army because I wasn't doing nothing. But I was a holdover. I was an admin. That's a whole other thing. But anyway, I got some trouble, and so many years later, 5 kids, 2 divorces at this point. A buddy. I was on Facebook when Facebook was somewhat cool, and a guy I've worked with at one of the factories in town was an engineer, and he was like, "Hey, I do this airsoft thing." So I go on Facebook and I look up airsoft groups and I Google it, I go down this rabbit hole, and I was like, "Fuck, dude, that's awesome! Like, that's just I want to do that." He's like, I was like, "How do I get into it?" I didn't know a thing about a thing, right?
Yeah.
He's like, "Well, a couple of guys, we have a little team, and we play out in the dude's mom and dad own one of the team guys owns a trucking company for concrete, and they do concrete and a bunch of other shit in Wisconsin. I was living in Wisconsin at the time, so we got into it, and being infantry and being in a military family, when I do something, I just do it 100%. Throw myself
Anything
into
worth
it.
doing is worth
It's
overdoing.
Right, exactly. And so I'm going online, and my wife at the time was like, "This is dumb. It's a kid's game. But if you're gonna do it, you got to give up something." And you're gonna. I know. She started going all up on all how these bad things are gonna happen. I was like, "Look, it's just fun. Don't worry about it. Moving on." So I started doing it, and I started to get better because I had suffered from PTSD for a long time.
Yeah.
And back then in 2015, they weren't talking about PTSD as much as they are now. They weren't talking about the 22 a day, and that's another subject. But so I started playing. I started getting out there with these guys. I started doing large scale events, large Milsim events, and I started to feel better. And I was like, "Yeah, I miss this shit. This is what I need. This is how I'm going to get my life mentally get my life back on track. So I go to my wife at the time. I was like, look, I felt great. I feel better. And I start telling her all the things. She's like, okay, let's do it. So I start going to Lions Claw events. I start doing AMS events. We end up getting divorced. That was my second marriage. Met another woman. She is the one that had Guillain-Barré syndrome,
Okay.
and then that led into MS. So she's working for Medline. She still works for Medline, but now she works at home due to COVID and due to uh, having MS because she's
Right.
deteriorating.
Mm-hmm.
So she goes in and she starts doing the photography for me. So I started a Milsim page, which I'm no longer doing that. I dropped the photography part and I just brought in a shameless plug because I have to.
Yeah,
It's
of
just
course, dude.
Strike Force Milsim. I
Okay.
don't know. There
No,
you
this is what this podcast is
go.
about. It's not just to
Awesome.
be about meeting somebody. It's about I want whoever my guest is to.
Yeah.
I want to promote them, their team, their event,
Well,
whatever that is. Yeah.
that's my photography page. I just dropped the photography part.
What
So
is it
fast
again?
Strike Force Milsim
Yeah.
photography. It's still on Facebook. Is that? I gotta redo a few things because she had access to that.
Yeah.
So I'm going to start up a new Strike Force Milsim page. Um, I'm gonna start everything new and just redo it the way I want to do it. Um, I joined up with a team. I've probably done 40 events since 2015.
Damn.
Um,
That's a
yeah,
lot, bro.
that's just national events. One year I did. One year I did. Well, I've probably done more than that. I'm close to 100 actually. One year I did almost every event. I was going to two a month, all across this country.
Woo!
Yeah, I
That's
was
a lot, bro.
fucking spending. I've grown to. I've learned to. I shouldn't say learn. I have come to know some big players in the industry. I've come to
Like big
know.
YouTubers.
Yeah, I met Desert Fox. Shout out to him. Really nice guy.
Yeah.
Personal feelings aside. I've also met Airsoft Brittany. I actually just did an event with Airsoft Brittany in November with AMS at Black Site in Anniston, Alabama. They
I
were
saw
there.
that picture, dude. I went through your Instagram.
Yeah,
I saw your picture with her. Yeah. Okay.
super cool. And a lot of other people that I've met. I've met Ranger Hall of Famers. I've met Delta Force guys. I've met Colonel Danny McKnight. I've had the opportunity to do
Saw
several
that
events
picture.
with him, and I'll be doing an event with him in September for the 30th anniversary of Operation Irene, or for Black Hawk Down guys who don't know what Irene was, but
Yeah.
we're doing an anniversary. But there's going to be so many big names there, and I've come to learn. I've come to meet these guys, and I spread the message that for veterans, because we don't talk about PTSD enough and we don't talk about men's mental health enough.
Yeah.
Anybody who's listening and wants to go to an airsoft event and who's never done it or is thinking about doing it, there are companies within the airsoft community or Milsim community that will help you get there and will foot the bill for that. Because if you are a veteran and you have not done an event but want to, there are companies that will foot the bill for it.
Mm-hmm.
And if you want to get in contact with me, I'll get you to the right people. And I love spreading airsoft and milsim to not only veterans but to people in general, because it's so much fun and it's an awesome thing. I've gone all over this great country and I've done some cool shit. If you've seen my Instagram, you've seen some of the dumbass shit I've done. Right here, baby. There you go. When it comes in, it comes in. But yeah, that's kind of my airsoft journey. I started off in the back of somebody's field playing in their concrete factory, basically.
Right.
And I moved on to large scale events. I've come to know John Liu and Bo Stewart
Mm-hmm.
and these guys that run these huge promotions. And there are so many out there that locally, and even actually a buddy of mine in your state, Kevin Crispy Walker. He runs the Eastern Division of Lions Claw. So
Oh,
he's
really?
from South Carolina.
Oh, I
He's
didn't.
from
Okay.
Kernsville, I think it's called.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I've never met him. Okay.
super cool guy. I'm linked up now with the team. We're called Whitehorse Milsim. We're based out of Michigan, where I live.
Oh, that's Minty.
Yeah.
I had
Minty's.
Minty on here. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's probably where I got the link initially from.
I had
Uh,
Minty and his best friend Rambo.
yeah.
Oppo
Actually,
Rambo on.
I just bought a Strike Industries M4 off Rambo.
Okay.
Just bought that. So,
Yeah.
I've kind of come to be a local celebrity, I guess, in the airsoft world. They know me as Pineapple,
Yeah. Okay.
and that started in Pritzker, Oklahoma, in 2019, with one of my teammates for that event with Centurion Milsim. And Centurion, basically, I don't know if you've ever heard of Centurion.
I think I have.
They're LARPing. If you know what LARPing is, it's LARPing with guns. Because I have a character, he has a whole personality. I develop him and move him
Mm.
forward. He started off as an E7, sergeant first class. He is now a captain. He's gone
Okay.
to college. He's got 26 years in the Green Berets. He's the dude, right? So, I was an interrogator. My 18 Foxtrot, which is the intelligence officer or intelligence sergeant. So when I started this guy, I was doing the intel and I was doing the interrogation. So we're in Oklahoma,
Yeah.
and Patty Mayo did this thing with this guy. He tried to kind of catch him. His safe word was pineapple juice. So I'm in doing interrogation, and they're all like, just filming this shit. I wish I still had some of the video on it, but I don't. I had it in a phone that I no longer have. But anyway, I'm doing this interrogate. Like I'm laying into the guy, like fakely. He's going along with it. He knows what's going on. So I'm not actually physically hurting him. But
Yeah.
if you were to just be outside without seeing it visually, you would think I was like beating the snot out of this guy.
Yeah.
Doing old school waterboarding. I've actually been, I have a video. I'll send you it. I've actually been airsoft version of waterboarding. It's awesome.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
What do
So
they dump BBs on your face instead of water?
no. He takes a towel. Sam Asadi, who owns he owns a thing out in Atlanta. He's a vendor.
Okay.
He takes his hand. He goes like this. Put a towel over, and then he pours the water onto his hand.
Oh,
And
gotcha.
then I make the gurgling sound like I'm being waterboarded. It's actually a lot of fun. It's pretty cool.
That's
So
cool.
I'm doing this interrogation. I'm like, look, dude, my safe word's pineapple. No one's ever made me use it, but you could be the first. And so I go on this whole thing for like 10 minutes, and pineapple has stuck, and I had a Punisher grenade for my logo. I swapped that out with the
The old
apple
school
or
pineapple.
the pineapple grenade. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I've gone from my call sign Tank. I switched. It's now call sign Pineapple. So
Oh, okay.
yeah, everybody knows me as the Pineapple guy.
Gotcha.
So when I do my Milsim events, I got AMS in June at Mustatuck. Everybody they see me, they're like, oh hey, what's up, Pineapple? So I've kind of come to become a little local celebrity in
Now,
our.
where did Tank come from? Call sign Tank.
Okay, so call sign Tank came from. I used to sell timeshare back before the crash in
Yeah.
2008, and I never sold anything a day in my life. I mean, honestly, before I sold timeshare, I couldn't sell myself
Yeah.
on anything. So I go and I do the seminar, and I learn how to
How'd
do
you get into
sales.
that? You just needed a job.
Telemarketing. Yeah, I needed a job. I lost my job. I was working in the Dells. I lost my job, and I went into telemarketing. And I was that guy, hi, I'm trying to call you about your car insurance, or
Right.
hey, you filled out a form at the mall for a truck, but hey, you didn't win the truck, but we want to send you to all-inclusive thing where you got to do a 90-minute presentation. So I went from there to being on the sales floor and doing the 90-minute presentation. So
Oh shit.
yeah, my first fiscal year, I sold $1.5 million in business.
Jesus, bro.
Yeah, so that's where
So you.
they called me the Sherman tank, and I just shortened it to
Oh,
tank because every 90 minutes in an 8-hour day, you're doing every 3 hours, you're doing shows, right? You're doing a presentation. You do three
holy
shows.
shit.
Yeah, so you're doing them like one after another. So on average, out of the 30 or plus shows I would show or do in a 5-day week, I would sell 15 to 20 of them.
Damn.
And I would just bowl through them like a tank. And that's where it came from. And then I
That
started
is
Milsim.
wild.
I started airsofting, and it just stuck. And then I did the one time in Pritchard, Oklahoma. I do a freaking interrogation, and I say, "Hey, my safe word's pineapple juice." And I went from tank to pineapple, and pineapple is just fit. Uh, my buddy Anthony Patton out of Oklahoma, he's huge with Centurion. He got me a charm with a pineapple.
Nice.
Or yeah, so it's just developed. E.g., Nola Gay gave me their pineapple patch, which is one of their rare patches
Oh shit.
at SHOT Show this year.
Okay.
I'm also linked up with, if you've seen my Instagram, I'm linked up with Body Armor Vent. They
Yes.
actually were able to get me out to SHOT Show because it was a bucket list thing.
Oh, nice.
And dude, I collected probably 200 and 300 business cards to give to Eric. And
Oh man.
if you subscribe to BattleBox, your July BattleBox will have a body armor vent. And if you're still doing that, your reviews and open boxes, I
Yeah.
can. If you send me your email through Discord, I'll send that over to Eric at Body Armor Vent,
Yeah.
and we'll get you one out there to review.
What?
Yeah, he loves that. That's free
Oh, that's
publicity for
awesome.
him.
So we actually did. My sons were on doing the battle box,
Yeah,
and we had probably I don't know how many that we have done, but we did a handful of reviews on the different monthly battle boxes.
yeah. So this July's Battle Box will have a Body Armor Vent in it. And
Okay.
Body Armor Vent, if you backpack or carry a backpack or do an airsoft, it's fucking awesome. I carry it with my everyday 3-day pack that I take to work with me.
No shit.
Yeah, so
Okay.
airsoft has done so much for me as far as battling my PTSD
Yeah.
and battling my mental health issues that I have, because it gives me something to focus on. It gives me something to
Hmm.
do. My girlfriend Jenny, and I love her, and she's a hell of a support system. I know it drives her nuts because that's really all I talk about for the most part is airsofting and doing something with some airsoft event. She's like, "You've talked about 15 fucking airsoft events just last night." Yeah, we're not going to all of them,
Yeah.
but we just talk about them.
Yeah. Sure.
Drives her nuts. Drives her nuts. But I have my own room that's just kind of like yours. It's set up with
All
everything
your cool
airsoft,
shit in it.
all my
Hmm.
cool airsoft shit, and I've met a lot of good people. Uh, and that's the good side, but there's also the bad side, and people don't talk about that either. It's like, oh, we do all this cool shit, but there are the people that make airsoft not enjoyable are the guys
Hmm.
that don't call their hits, the cheaters, and you see the videos. So we just had Swamp Sniper in Indiana 3 weeks ago.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he was there. Chris Balahak, who's also a good. I shouldn't say good friend of mine. He's an associate. Like I know him. Like I could.
Right.
He knows who I am. But I don't know. That's just kind of my airsoft progression and the
Yeah.
stuff I've done.
Yeah, dude, I've had a lot of veterans on here, and they all say the same thing, man. And I think that's a real common thing. I think especially for guys with, especially not just guys, but guys that go in the military and get out, is we miss that camaraderie. We miss that having that goal or that purpose.
Yeah.
Like I know where I fit in, right?
Right.
It's there's a man when I got out and I went to a regular job.
Were you 0311?
No, I drove
Oh, okay.
trucks. Yeah.
That's the
So
88 Mike in the Army.
okay.
Just that's what they call it.
Yeah. Yeah. It was like 35 something, whatever.
Right.
But I didn't choose that. They chose it for me. And
Oh, you don't get to choose your job?
so I did. I chose combat engineer because I wanted to do construction because that's what I did right before I went in.
Right.
So I was a gopher on a construction site. So I did, like through high school and stuff. So I did, I played football. I wrestled. I was big for my age. I was like the height I am now, but when I was like 13, 12 or 13. So by the time I was 5'11" when I'm that age. So I worked out all the time with these, playing football. I played football since I was in fourth grade. So I was big and strong in high school. I carried all the lumber. I carried the packs of shingles on my shoulders, up
Yeah.
ladders, threw them on the roof. Carried all the big ass lumber. All these old guys I worked with, their fucking joints are hurting, bro. And I'm like 17. That's what I'm
Yeah,
doing.
but they got fucking huge, massive shoulders now, though.
Oh, dude, they're fucking strong as shit. These guys have like Snickers bars for fingers, okay? They're
Yeah.
just massive hands. They can grab, they are grabbing because we do some brick stuff as well. I work concrete as well. And for a couple years. So we would do brick lane. I worked with some brick. So I'm carrying the
Yeah,
cinder blocks.
that handle, it's got the two flat ends on the side, and then it's
Uh-huh.
got the handle in the middle. That whatever the fuck that's called.
Yeah.
I'd watch, did not dude just fucking because it fits what 6 bricks in that side, and
Hmm.
he would put the bricks in, he put on the other one and just whoop, and then walk them over. Yeah, I know all about
We
that.
never had that. They had me. So I carried.
Yeah, well,
I would carry shit tons back and
so
forth.
so
Really
your
quick.
story is a lot like mine growing up. Like I played football and I wrestled and I went in the military. Although I joined the proper branch. Just kidding. I do want to know. I ask every Marine this. What color is your favorite?
Green, bro.
Green. Oh, all right, cool. So,
You talking about the crayons?
yeah. What's your favorite crayon? What's your favorite crayon? Favorite color?
Yeah.
You can go on to Corello's website and you can get customize your colors. So now I know yours is green. So I did this with an ex. Her son was a Marine. He was camo,
Yeah.
and his favorite color is blue. So I went on to
Gotcha.
Corello.com and I went and I got him every color of blue that Crayola makes.
Oh shit.
It's just a box of blue, but it's all the shades of blue. And I gave it to him
That's
for Christmas
wild.
one year.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so
Okay.
growing up, like I get and I understand where you're coming from because I did the football and I did the wrestling and I did the construction after the military.
Yeah.
By the time I got out, it was March. No, fuck, I have to remember dates now. It was early 2001. We'll just go with that. So I'm in Wisconsin and I'm like roofing. Like the
Yeah.
first house I ever did was a roundhouse. I'd never heard of
Holy
a
shit.
roundhouse. Yeah, I roofed a
Oh.
roundhouse.
That's crazy.
So I did roofing for a while, and I went into building homes. I couldn't do the concrete because I just that wasn't my thing. But I've seen those guys, and those guys are fucking like you said, are just they got Snickers bars for hands, or the older
And
guys.
calluses like this.
Oh god,
My
they're like
hands. When I
fucking,
first
they're like
started,
that
I'm
thick.
carrying those bricks. After like 2 days, the first 2 days, they're bleeding. They're bleeding.
Yeah, those guys
You
are
try
tough
to use
as nails.
gloves, but it pulls your gloves off. It's just not, it rips your gloves up. And I'm just like, fuck it, they'll build up. But yeah, so I went in. That's what I wanted to do in the military. And they're like, hey, the school's full. You can wait 6 months, or you can go something else. And that's what we ended up. So they stuck us in that. But yeah, so it was whatever.
So my military journey didn't start off the way I had hoped. I went in the recruiting office. I failed my ASVAB the first time. I was told because I
You
was
should
that
have went in
kid.
the Marines, bro.
No, I probably could have. So I was that kid that everything had come easy to, right? I started freshman football. I was the 4-year varsity letter winner, yada, yada, yada. So I go down. I'm like, it was 97. And my mom was like, you graduate next year. What are you going to do? Because I'm adopted. I'm a foster kid. That's
Gotcha.
a whole nother program, too. I think you picked the guy who could probably do like 9 different podcasts with you because my life literally reads like a fucking action movie that has just gone horribly wrong halfway through it. So my mom was like, what are you going to do? I'm like, I don't know. I'm just going to go get a job. Well, Where are you gonna live? I don't know. Can't live here because that was their philosophy. That was their policy. You graduate high school, gone. You're out. You go.
Right.
You're on your own. You're done. We did our
Yeah.
job. So I was like, I don't know. My dad's like, join the Navy, and I'm like, no. He's like, join the Navy. I was like, all right, fine. I went down to the Navy recruiter. Right. I failed my ASVAB the first time. He's like, you need a 31. He's like, you got like a 28. He's like, I don't think you're cut out for the military, bud. I was like, can I take it again? He's like, yeah, you can take it again in like 10 days or 30 days or whatever the fuck it is.
Right.
Come back then and we'll go down to MEPS. I joined in Pennsylvania. I was like, all right, I'll study. I'll take it serious. Got down there. I got an 87 on my ASVAB score.
What the fuck?
Yeah, that's what he said.
How did that happen?
Because I took it serious. I went down there.
Okay,
the first time.
The first time you're just because it's multiple choice.
Bam,
you're
bam,
just
bam,
like,
bam, bam.
Yep. I just
AB,
want to
AB.
get through it. Yep.
I did ABA select start kind of deal.
Yeah.
CC,
Like, hey,
whatever.
50% chance of whatever. I got a small chance to get this right.
Right. I didn't take
Yeah.
it serious because I did it to appease my father.
Gotcha.
So I go down there, same guy takes me down, and he gets the score, and he's like, what the fuck? You had like a 29, and now you're like an 87. Did you not care? I was like, I didn't take it serious. I didn't want to join. My dad told me to do it, so I did it. He's like, all right, well, you qualify for like 180 jobs out of like 200, okay?
Yeah.
And so I was like, well, he's like, what do you want to do? I was like, I don't know. My dad was a CB. My brother was a CB. Fuck, I'll be a CB.
Yeah. I worked with CBs over in Japan.
So, that's what I did. And then my dad's like, we got in this big fight because he wanted better for me. Right? My dad got a field promotion. Another story. My dad got a field promotion in Vietnam, and he became an officer. They gave him the opportunity either stay an officer or go back to enlisted, because during combat you get field promotions like that because they need someone to be in leadership.
Right.
So my dad did the right thing and became an officer, and then 30 years later. But he wanted that.
30?
Yeah.
Damn.
Retired rear admiral. He was. He's done a lot of cool ass shit.
That's crazy.
But that's his story to tell, not mine. Oh shit! I hit the button here. So, he's like,
the camera's shaking a lot.
Yeah, it's because I'm on a table. I'm on a fold out table. Remember those metal ones? This is a wooden version.
Oh yeah.
And so he's like, I want you to go to college, and I want you to do, you should go to college, and blah blah blah. And we got this big fight. So you have that 10-day time frame from the day you take your ASVAB to the day you ship out. You have 10 days to change your mind, to switch branches, to do whatever. Not a lot of people know that.
Yeah.
Because they get suckered into this. I joined the Marines. Oh shit, I don't want to do that. And by the time they get to basic, they're fucked and they hate it, and then they get kicked out. But
I wanted to be a Marine since I was like 8 years old, so I didn't have any problems.
Right. So, and my dad's like, you sure you want to be a CB? He's like, you got 10 days, right? And I was like, I got what? So yeah, my dad told me about that. And I was like, I changed it. I went down to Navy recruiter. I was like, I don't want to do this no more.
Yeah.
He's like, okay, but you have to wait 6 months
before you can do something.
Before you can redo something else and join another branch. So I waited my 6 months, and I had to retake my ASVAB because it's only good for a certain amount of time, 30 days or whatever. And so, again, I scored really high.
Yeah.
In the 80s. And so I think, fucking think here. So I go to the Army, and I go down and I walk in there. I was like, look, I want to be G.I. Joe. I want to do cool shit. And he's like, all right, infantry. That's what you're going to be. So join the infantry, and he's like, when do you want to leave? I'm like, right now, today. And then the guy that does the thing, whatever he's called, he's like, we got one class that leaves in the morning. It's infantry. You got lucky there, but it also comes with a $10,000 signing bonus and airborne school.
Damn. You're like, yes, please.
Yes, exactly. He's like, but you can do it a few different ways. You can do everything right now and then graduate high school, or you can do everything after you graduate, or you can split it up. So they call it the delayed entry program back then.
Yeah, that's what I was in.
Right. So in the summer, summer of my junior year, which was '97, I did basic. I went to basic training, and I did AIT, and I did all that bullshit down at Fort Benning. And so, and then I did my jump school after I graduated, and that was super fucking awesome. And
yeah, my cousin went in the did the same thing you're doing, or you did. Yep.
So many years later, I didn't do anything cool. I went wherever the Army sent me for the next 4 years or so.
Sure. Oh, yeah.
3.5 years, and I got out, and I got in some trouble, and because of my spotless record, I threw myself. No, so when I joined the military, my dad's like, take it serious, because I know how you are. If you decide to fuck around, you'll be out. You'll be home in a year. They'll boot you out. He's like, take it fucking serious and give 110%. So I did. So in the Army, we have the Otto Murphy Award, which would be the equivalent to the Chesty Puller for the Marine Corps. The Otto Murphy is the most decorated soldier in all of military history.
I read that book, and I saw the movie.
I didn't see it. But yeah. I didn't see the movie, and I haven't read the book. I learned all about him. So when I found out there was an award for that, I was like, that's what I'm doing. I'm going to give myself. And I started doing that, and I became, by the time my initial, about a year into my initial enlistment, I was up for an Otto Murphy Award.
Okay, damn.
Yeah, and I went twice to the Otto Murphy Board. Okay. And I just didn't have enough. I was competing with guys that were E4s, E5s, and above. So I just didn't have. I lacked the experience and the military experience and the time in. But to just be able to get to that point,
right?
Like I was a soldier. Then I met a girl, had a baby, and that's a whole other fucking program. But I got in a little bit of trouble. I'm about to re-enlist, and I go out and I celebrate, that I'm going to re-enlist, and I'm going to spend 20 years of my life in the Army, and I got blacked out drunk, and unfortunately, I hurt somebody that was very close to me. He was one of my teammates. He was actually my battle buddy.
Yeah.
So I hurt him really bad, and the government's like, yeah, we can't have you here. We're done. But the fact that I was up for the board twice, and that I had never been in any trouble before that, I got a general discharge with honorable conditions. And I don't mind telling people that I fucked up my career. I personally fucked up everything I had.
Oh yeah.
Like I was on a fast track to everything. After my first enlistment, I'd already planned on being a ranger. Like I was gonna be that guy.
Yeah.
That you see on the videos and the poster child for the Army, because that was my plan.
Sure. I did similar things. I've talked about it on here before. Me and my buddy, they had a company party on a Friday. We got fucking shit faced. It was on base. We were at Camp Pendleton at the time, and we went off base to go find some chicks, and ended up stealing a pickup truck. Didn't know what we were doing. Fucking, I woke up in jail in San Diego County, and then had to go to rehab at Balboa Hospital, which is a naval hospital down in San Diego, for 6 weeks for alcohol rehab. So that was the first anything on my military record. Before that, I was high marks on everything. So yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah. So I mean, getting back to Airsoft has helped me with a lot of things, and I've met a lot of cool people. And my next event is a regional event at in Hobart, Indiana, which is an old missile silo, Cold War missile silos.
Well, how was your transition coming out of the military, especially in that under that circumstance, I'm sure you had a lot of regret, shame,
So
guilt, whatever. Like you were probably feeling pretty shitty. Like how was it?
I did. So I was
Yeah.
court mandated to pay for some shit. That was
Mm-hmm.
part of my conditions. I didn't do any jail time, and it's not even on my 214 form because
Gotcha.
I got a great JAG lawyer, and he went to bat for me because I was a young kid. So I get out. I'm at Fort Campbell. My girlfriend at the time, who is the mother of my oldest daughter, she
Yeah.
was still in. She was communications. She's a radio operator, switchboard operator. Now they don't do that anymore.
Right.
But I went to work at a factory in uh, Clarksville, Kentucky, Clarksville, Tennessee, and then
Yeah.
for a little while, then she got out, and I moved to Wisconsin.
What
And
took you out there?
my daughter,
Oh.
I didn't see growing up in the foster care system. I didn't want to be that dad who didn't see their kids.
Mm,
I didn't want to be that dad that was a phone call away. I am now, but my kids are also older,
right.
and I sacrificed so much for my kids over the years, and I did a lot of dumb shit. And I was like, you know what? I'm 30 fucking some odd years old. I'm gonna go live for me. But it was hard because I was drinking, and I mean, I drank, dude. Like I drink a fifth of fucking Jack Daniels a night. Like I was
Holy
drinking. Yeah,
shit.
no, I was drinking my life
Woo.
away. And then 9/11 hit.
Your liver goes, "Hello,
My liver's like, I hate you. Why do
bro."
you? Right? Why do you hate me?
Yeah. What are you doing?
So 9/11 hits, and the whole world is just turned upside down.
Sure.
And I was like, can I get back in? Like, fuck, I'm gonna go do something, right?
Yeah.
And they're like, no, because you have a 4 alpha, and a 4 alpha means you can't re-enlist. Like, I'm not even draftable, which
Right. Right.
nowadays I wouldn't want to go.
Yeah.
But my dad pulled some strings, and I went to work for Halliburton for 3 years after that.
Oh shit.
And they have a zero alcohol thing, like you can't drink at all. They're so strict when you're out of country, because a lot of countries don't allow, certain places don't allow you to do certain things. So
Yeah.
prior to that, I drank and I did drugs, and I was going downhill.
Yeah.
And honestly, 9/11 saved my life.
Yeah.
Ironically, as bad as that sounds. And then my real mom, she passes away a year later, and I didn't deal with that until after I started working for Halliburton. I stopped working for them, and I dealt with that through alcohol and drugs again. And it cost me 2 marriages. It cost me relationships with my kids, and cost me a lot of shit. Alcohol is a very destructive, if you don't have it in control. And I'm not talking about going out and having a beer with your buddies on a Friday night,
Of course.
or sitting at
I
home
mean,
with your old
yeah.
lady and you're drinking a beer or you're having a glass of whiskey. I'm talking like where you're getting shit faced every Friday
Yeah.
through Sunday.
I mean, it's not the alcohol. The alcohol is the tool that's used, but the problem is what's going on in here.
Yeah, and that's how I got in. And Airsoft did that for me. Airsoft and the girl that I had my last marriage, we ended up getting divorced because we wanted different things. She's a good woman. She deals with MS every day and takes care of her elderly parents. Like that woman's as strong as an ox
Mm,
when it comes to things. But I got saved. Like I actually legit went to church and I
oh,
started getting into religion. So I stopped. When we got together,
yeah.
she's like, "If you're gonna be with me, you can't drink. You can't do none of that. I don't want that in my life. I don't need that." So that started me down that road. And there's a few other things that also started me down that road too, but that was one of the main contributors.
Yeah.
So then I stopped drinking, and I
Now,
haven't
did you
had
go to church growing up?
no,
Really?
no.
Your parents, like your dad, and whatever they weren't really into like.
My foster mom uh, is Catholic, and she goes to church.
Yeah.
And so I went because I had to go. Like I didn't pay
Yeah.
attention. I didn't read the Bible, and I didn't care because,
Catholic mass is boring, bro. I grew up Catholic, so
dude, he falls
I know.
asleep. It's just snooze fest while I watch paint dry. But when I was very religious during basic training, though. I mean, during basic training, I was a Jew. I was a Seventh-day Evangelist. I was a Christian. I was anything not to have to clean barracks.
Oh, for sure. Well, that's what
Anything
they
not to
tell you,
have to
man.
clean.
I'm like, I think I'd said it on this podcast before. Like, I was telling somebody, it's like, yeah, I went to church in boot camp because the alternative is you're getting your ass kicked in the barracks. Like, no,
Fuck
fucking
that.
everyone goes to church, even if you don't,
Everybody.
yeah. So yeah, I hear you.
But so I started going to church, and I got like I truly, and I do believe. I'm not saying like I don't believe. Like
Yeah.
I truly believe uh in the Bible, and I read I sat down and I read the Bible cover to cover.
Damn.
Yeah, and I read the King James version
Uh-huh.
because and that's old text. That's like old
That's
school.
supposed to be the most closely translated one. Yeah.
Yes. So I
That's what I
started
read.
started reading that, and I was like, at first it didn't make sense, and then probably halfway through Genesis, it just clicked,
Mm,
and it made sense, and it
yeah.
started to appeal, and I started to read, and I started to understand, and so I gave myself to God. Like I gave up, and I started to truly throw myself into my Christianity,
Yeah.
and I went and got saved, and now, you know, I'm baptized Baptist. I was
Okay.
30 some years old, and that also, along with airsoft and a good strong woman at that time, had got me away from the alcohol. I'd quit
Right.
drugs a long time ago.
Yeah.
After my second daughter was born, I quit smoking pot.
Yeah.
And so I've been sober now. Kaylee, my youngest daughter, will be 9 because she was born in 2014. So no, she'll be 11. Yeah, I can't do fucking math today. Um. Anyway, um, I just when she was born, I slowed down, and then I met Tracy, and then I really stopped. And Jenny, who I have now, has told me the same thing. Like, you can't drink. I don't care how bad it is. I don't
Yeah.
care if you need to yell at me, if you need to take your anger out on me, take it out on me. I'd rather you do that than touch alcohol.
Yeah.
And because I've been sober for so long,
Mm.
and I still deal with PTSD. It doesn't go away, and it's not from actually. That's not even from military service. That's just from the childhood I grew up in. And I grew up in not ideal conditions and not
Right.
ideal foster homes. So I still deal with that, and I still deal with that trauma. But airsoft has helped me along the way,
Yeah.
reconnecting with army buddies, and that whole environment. And having a good, strong woman is, dog, go away, Harley, go. Sorry about that.
No, it's yeah. I mean, Airsoft Dad and I talked about that. He actually made a statement on here, um, saying the same thing. Like, when I think the way he said it was like, give some advice, whatever. Look, if you want to, life is not always easy, so find somebody to be with. Like, if it's way better with going through life with somebody, and that's,
Absolutely.
the same thing. Yeah.
So
Well, I grew up going to church every day, or every Sunday, and then all the special holidays like this weekend. Um, Good Friday was yesterday. We would have went to church. When I was growing up. Saturday, it's Holy Saturday. We would have went, and
yep.
then tomorrow, like we being Catholic growing up like that, it was, and my dad was a convert. Like, he grew up with no religion. He grew up on a farm in Illinois, and then my mom is Italian. She was raised Roman Catholic
Oh yeah.
and very strict Catholic. So when they got together, she was like, you can't marry me unless so he converted. And a lot, the joke is converts are like, the most gung ho. Okay. And it's kind of like, the previous smokers when they quit smoking, they're like the most gung ho about not smoking,
Yeah.
and telling people to not
Yeah.
smoke. So, yeah, he was like, so my parents were both very religious. I grew up in a very strict religious home. And, but as far as like but it was Catholic. So we didn't know, I never even heard of being saved until like way late, when I was an adult. And, but I I had done the same thing, kind of went down the same path after the military and stuff. But when I read the Bible, when I started reading the Bible when I was like 11, my mom hated it because she was excited for me to read the Bible, but I had one of those personality types. I'm always asking why. Well, what? Like something don't make sense? I want to make sense of things, right?
Right.
So I read the Bible and I said, well, why did right in the beginning in Genesis, there's all these questions. I'm like, why did didn't God love Adam and Eve? Well, yeah, of course. This is like his children. Why did he let the devil, who is really bad, into the same place that they're at? Why didn't he just put him
Exactly.
somewhere else? And she's like, God works mysterious ways, kind of thing. If you shouldn't know the answer. I'm like, well, and then I'm reading more. I'm like, so if Adam and Eve were the only two humans on the planet, she's like, yeah. And I'm like, well, where did everyone else come from? Did they have all the babies? And she's like, well, no. I'm like, well, what did their brothers and sisters have to make babies? And they're like, well, God allowed it so that they could populate the earth. I'm like, so incest was okay? No.
Right, right.
So,
And I had those same questions in the beginning
yeah.
of my spiritual
My
journey.
mom hated it, bro. It was so funny because she was like, you need to stop. I'm like, well, I'm curious. I want to read. Dude, I was all in. I wasn't questioning. I didn't have doubt. I was young. I was probably 14, 15 at the time when I'm reading this stuff. And I'm like, so I wasn't questioning like skeptical questioning. I was legit
Trying to
like,
learn.
yeah, really trying to learn. I,
So
I
when
already believed. I didn't. I didn't question my faith. I already believed. I was 100%. It was just that my mom was like, you know,
right. So when I met Tracy, and she's Baptist, and I was so, I wouldn't say, I for like I was mad at God. Like, I didn't question his word in the
oh,
Bible. I was mad at him personally.
oh,
So I go to work. I go to work. I go to church on Sundays. I have a big chew in my mouth and blue jeans. And the preacher knew it, but he knew he saw something in me that I didn't see in myself
yeah,
at that time. So him and I started to form a relationship, and we became friends. And Pastor Carter is still a very good friend of mine. And when I need to call, I call, and we talk, and we'll talk for however long it takes. But at that time, I'd go and because he's always like, God says, the Bible says, just come in your best clothing. If the best thing you got is a pair of jeans, come in that. Come in whatever your best clothes are. And
yeah,
so I just kind of stubbed my nose at it for about a year, and then I finally, one day I was like, you know what? I love my wife at the time, and it's hurting her heart to see me not succeed spiritually.
mm,
So I opened up the Bible. I asked him, if I was like, preacher, can I get a Bible? And he buys me this really nice leather Bible. And I was like, where do I start? He's like, page 1. Every great story starts on page 1.
mm,
So I started on page 1, and I started reading, and I read cover to cover. And I did have questions like, incest was allowed then, and why was this and why was that? And then as I got further into the reading, things just kind of made sense. Like you said, it's just because we needed to populate the earth. And I still do have questions about, because of everything I was ever taught. Like, and it doesn't. A lot of things don't make sense, but eventually they will. I guess it's the way it works. But science, even today, is proving that the Bible is correct on a lot of things.
Yeah.
You know, they're the science, world is proving the Bible right. Like they're finding all these things that have proven the stories of the Bible to
Yeah,
be
the
correct.
history and stuff, the archaeologists finds and all
Yes,
that. Hmm.
absolutely, and they're
Yeah.
finding all that. So, yeah, that's just when it comes to religion. With everything that's going on in the world, people are going to believe whatever they believe. I have Muslim
Sure.
friends and I have atheist friends, and I find that it takes more energy and more effort to not believe something than it is to just believe it.
Hmm.
You don't have to believe everything if you don't
Yeah.
want to. Um, I used to be a what do they call that? Uh, Not what they call us creationist, but
Agnostic.
evolution. No,
Oh.
evolutionist.
Okay. Okay.
Creationists is the ones that believe that God created the earth and man, and evolutionists is that we come from monkeys and we come from a
Oh, right.
single-celled
Yeah.
organism and
Yeah.
developed. But I do find that evolution is prevalent in the world. I mean, look at there are species of frogs that will, change their whole genetic makeup to even out the species so that the species continues.
Right.
And they are finding more species in oceans and on land, and they're finding and they're discovering these things that we had never seen before.
Sure.
So it's there. It's a mixture of both. I think if you find a happy medium with that, make yourself happy. Whatever you believe is what you believe.
Yeah.
But airsoft for me, takes away that. It doesn't have political views. It
Uh-uh.
doesn't have religious views.
Right.
It doesn't have gender roles.
No.
I do know a transgender individual who plays airsoft, and she is just badass.
I
Now,
actually had she's in well, the one I talked to, she's in Michigan, and you talking about Izzy?
yes,
Yeah, I had her on
I
here.
was trying to think of her name, but I couldn't remember her name. I don't know her that well. I've met her a
Izzy
couple of
Spice, yeah.
times.
Well,
I've
that's her
only met,
Instagram, yeah.
yeah, I've only met her a couple of times.
Well, see, I had TST on here, Titanic Swim Team. They're in Michigan as well.
Oh, are
Probably a
they?
different part. Yeah. So
Oh,
they in after that came out, Izzy was commenting on something like that, or maybe they were doing a live stream. I think they were doing a live stream on Instagram. They went on Instagram Live. I joined their Instagram Live, whether they invited me or something. I had never been on Instagram Live before, so I got in there, and yeah, I think Izzy was one that was commenting on there, and that's how I found her, and then I had her on the podcast. So yeah,
right. And that's the one thing I love about what I do and what we do as a whole is that it doesn't. They're all there. You got
it's above
it,
all
it's
boundaries. Like
yes, thank
it
you.
doesn't matter.
It
Like
doesn't
it
matter. It doesn't matter if you're
transcends any.
gay,
Yeah,
if you're straight, if you're white, black, Chinese,
doesn't
male,
matter.
female. It doesn't matter. When you
Not,
get on
not
that,
like honestly nothing. Like it doesn't matter.
no,
Like the type of guys that you and I are, the way we grew up, the things we're interested, our personality types. Like, uh, we were in high school. You have those cliques, right?
yeah,
You got the nerds, you got the jocks, you got the whatever. Like, that is, we all kind of congregate towards those type of groups. And so in life, when you get out of high school, you have business people. You have somebody that's becomes an entrepreneur and starts their own business. You have somebody that's a construction worker. You have somebody that's goes to college and is an engineer or a doctor or whatever. All these different backgrounds. They would in normal everyday life they would not mix. Okay, now
no,
they might keep some friends like through high school, like after high school. It's very rare. But 10 years after high school, maybe there's a couple guys that are still friends. They have way different backgrounds, but because the high school was the connecting point, they
yep,
still kind of keep in touch. That's rare. So you're not going to have like 50 friends from high school that are all these different backgrounds that get together and like hanging out with each other. But airsoft goes above all that shit. It's like
absolutely.
you got the nerd, the jock, the business guy, the combat veteran, the whatever, like all these different all these different backgrounds
The
and
oldest,
races and genders and everything. And
yes,
now we come together and everything's cool.
yep, yep.
It's like doesn't matter
I
political bullshit, whatever.
No,
It's
it
just
doesn't matter. A buddy
no,
of mine who
so
plays for He's with the he's that team out of Milwaukee. Um, Brewsters, I think they're called, or something with a
Oh,
B. They're out of Milwaukee,
I don't think
and
I've had him on here. Yeah,
no,
I haven't seen him.
um, the one guy, Robert, I call him old school. His son, his call sign is new school. He's a lot.
Nice.
He's one of those lobbyist guys. He works for some Republican senator out of Florida, and he comes on the airsoft field. I mean, he doesn't get to play much because of what he does, but
Yeah.
I've seen a 70-year-old man. We were Nemesis Airsoft out of Wisconsin as well. Nemesis Milsim, good friends of mine. The guy showed up with a Tesla, 70 some years old, pulls up with this EV Tesla, opens up his trunk and starts pulling out airsoft gear. I mean, the guy, old as shit.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah,
Dude,
I
you
mean,
know, what's his name? I think for me anyway, it's the oldest guy I've seen on air, involved in airsoft is the podcast that Zulu 24. They're up in New York,
yeah,
the field.
yep.
So they started their own podcast recently, and they had the most recent one. The guest they had on is Bob or Robert or something like that. I forget his last name. So he's like,
Is it Sanders or Saunders?
I don't, maybe, but the dude's like 74 or
Yeah,
78 or something like that, and he still plays airsoft.
yeah.
It's fucking nuts, dude.
I've seen dads bring their daughters, dads bring their kids,
Yeah,
wives go. You know, and the one thing that airsoft, and I wish airsoft guys would get away from it. The one thing that airsoft does that I kind of just chaps my ass is that when you see a female on an airsoft field,
yeah,
they men and young men also seem to think, oh well, her boyfriend or husband must be an airsoft, so that's all his gear. There are women of airsoft, Sisu, yeah, I think that's how you pronounce her call sign, is part of that, and Airsoft Brittany is a part of Women for Airsoft.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah. I've had a bunch of women on here.
yeah,
And
it's just they own their own gear, like that's their thing.
yeah,
Like,
but well,
but
I
men,
understand where it comes from though, because majority of women that get in, they do get started from their brother or their, a guy.
right? But
Usually
they
a
have that
boyfriend or husband
stigma
or something.
attached to them, like, oh, she's just here because her boyfriend plays.
Right, I understand that, but
And
it makes sense where that idea comes from.
yeah,
Because
there
it
are
is so
some
common.
right, and there are some dividing lines, but it's so minuscule and so
Yeah,
little
right,
that no one really pays attention. Okay, so what if she brought her? If she's borrowing her boyfriend's gear or her husband's gear and playing,
right.
who gives a shit? She's playing.
Yeah, nobody cares. But
Just
that,
like
yeah, you're right. So those are
there
way,
are,
that
and
happens here and there.
yeah,
Same with
here and
Izzy.
there.
Izzy said, I said because I asked her, "What, you ever have anybody, say something or whatever when you're on the field? Like just one person, they were at this, and she actually called them out on the podcast. But most people don't give a fuck. Like
No,
majority of people on the field
same
are
thing
like,
with
fuck it.
when you see a black guy on the airsoft field.
Yeah,
It is a white guy thing. I get it, but more people are getting into it. More
yeah,
women are getting into it. More people of color are getting into it. And yeah, you see it for the first time. Like, oh my god, there's a black dude on the airsoft field. Okay, guys, shit, I'm being shot. Fuck it. Whatever.
yeah,
It's there for a brief second, and it's very minuscule. But for the most part, like you said, airsoft transcends everything.
right.
It's
Yeah,
above
for
it
the
all.
most part. Yeah, that's
If
true.
Donald Trump, as much as people hate that guy or like that guy, if Donald Trump showed up in an airsoft field ready to fucking play, yeah, there might be a 5 minute of fanboy, but when the BBs start flying, no one cares.
No one
No one
cares.
cares if you're Donald Trump.
Uh-uh.
No one cares if you're black or white. It's I
Yeah.
don't want to get shot. I don't want to have to walk back, fucking 100 million miles back to the
Well, the whole point is to
start
have
point.
fun.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
when it stops becoming fun, then, it's not, what's the point? Like yeah,
That's
I hear you, man. That is, it is. There are some things, and I mean, obviously, I think the biggest thing across the board, the most common thing that's the dividing or the negative trait or whatever is the cheaters, right? People that don't call their
Absolutely.
hits. Um,
I love watching the
that's where people
videos
get
though.
angry.
I love watching videos of cheaters being busted and
Oh,
just
I do
being,
too.
and I've because I do such large scale events. I do such, I did Guardian Center in 2021.
Nice.
Uh,
Serious
and that was,
Viking or
yeah, I did Serious Viking 4.
okay.
And that was last year, actually. Yeah, because we're going on to 5. So that was a big bucket list of mine. And I went down there and I just did my thing. But during the safety briefing, it's becoming more common because there are cheaters and then there are people who won't call their hits.
Hmm.
Um, if I shoot you and I know I shoot you and you don't call your hit, I will fucking unload on you until you call your hit. And it's becoming is it the right thing to do? No, you probably should just move on, but I'm petty sometimes. And if I have the opportunity to teach you a lesson cuz I grew up in a system that says, "Hey, there's a teaching moment in everything." If I shoot you 100 and if I mag dump onto you and you finally call it, I taught you a lesson to maybe next time call your hit.
Yeah.
Don't be a douche.
I don't.
Uh,
So I've made these comments before on previous podcasts. So I had it as I'm starting to talk with people, right? So uh, I've had hundreds of episodes on this
yeah.
podcast. So I think 230 something, whatever episodes. Okay, so I've talked to a lot of different people,
Oh, sure. Oh,
all
yeah.
different, all different background, hundreds of different people, all over the world. Okay, so uh, had Kicking Mustang on, so obviously his point of view on cheaters, okay,
Yep.
and what to do. Um, all the speed softers, tournament players like Milsimmers, everything. So uh, I was starting to hear this theme or this common story, like, hey, people that don't call your hits, like either just move on or tell the ref or whatever. And I kept hearing tell the ref, and I'm like, I never taught my kids to be a snitch. I was raised
No,
snitches get stitches, and we held by that when we were kids. Okay,
it's still today.
and I still right. And so I told somebody on here a couple times, different times, like I have a problem with us airsoft people talking about teaching the new players. Well, this is the only way or the best way to handle this situation is to tell on them. And I'm going, I don't like that, man.
No.
Can there be a better way? Now, and I've had the guys like yourself, they just keep shooting them until they call it. So sometimes that doesn't always work out though. I've watched a lot of
No.
gameplay videos, so they're behind cover, they're through a window, and they just move somewhere else. You don't even see them again or whatever, and it's like, so then you don't really get that closure. You don't ever get that like, God damn it, he fucking now where is he at? That kind of thing. So me personally, I agree with you. If somebody doesn't call their hit, I'm going to keep shooting you until you call your hit. And this was the thing when I had Kicking Mustang on, you know, all this hype. Now this was last year when I had him on the first time. All this hype about in the UK about headshots, and I'm going, yeah, but bro, because when somebody shoots him in the body, they don't fucking call it. You shoot that fucker in the face, he can't
No,
help
no.
but call it
Yeah.
because, especially when they're not wearing face pro, right? Like low
Yeah.
face pro. Like, dude, shoot that fucker in the face, okay, the first time, and you won't have to worry about shooting him twice or three times
No.
because the dude's gonna call. At least he's gonna be like, oh shit, like okay, everyone saw it.
Yeah.
This episode is sponsored by Skirmish, the future of airsoft gameplay management. Are you ready to take airsoft to the next level? Skirmish's innovative gameplay management solution tracks your every move, helping you dominate the field and achieve your full potential. Capture objectives, detonate targets, medic, and more at skirmish-enabled fields. We track every action so you don't have to. Review past games action by action and follow your progress in national rankings. Phones are not required to use this system on the field. Get connected with the only system that tracks your airsoft progress. If you want to find out more, check out episode 157 where I talk with the owner of Skirmish about how it started and how it works. Visit skirmish.net to check it out and watch games across the nation. This episode is also sponsored by Jefe'sAirsoftSolutions.com. Are you looking for a company that puts the community first? Look no further than Hefe's Airsoft Solutions. Their founding principle is to offer a way for players of all types to get the greatest experience possible. Their passion is to make a difference in the airsoft community and serve each of their customers with the utmost respect. Be part of the conversation by joining hundreds of fellow airsofters in their Discord server. Here you can find out about upcoming events, sales, giveaways, and more. Don't wait any longer. Join today and start enjoying all that Hefe's Airsoft Solutions has to offer. Together, we can make a difference in the community. Use the code Trifecta10 and save 10% on your next purchase at hefesairsoft.solutions.com. Some exclusions apply.
No, we had I've only experienced that a few times at events.
Yeah.
And I'm a big guy, and so I wear a lot of shit, and like everybody else does. So I don't always feel it. And if somebody says, "Hey man, I hit you," he may or may not have actually hit me, but I'm still, because I'm honest and I'm a decent human being, I'm not gonna be like, "Hey man, I didn't feel it. You didn't hit me. It doesn't count." All right, man, you hit me. All right, cool. I've been clearing buildings a few times. Well, I mean, we all clear buildings.
You're halfway decent, okay? You in the
yeah,
army, right?
yeah. I mean, I know how to clear a fucking building. So this one guy at the Mustatuck event in Butlerville, Indiana, just a couple of weeks ago, we're clearing a building, and he's kind of camping, and he's alone. I think he got separated from his herd. So he's there, and it's 4 guys clearing room to room, and he's holding off 4 guys at the end. And eventually we get more reinforcements. But he fucking hit me right in the damn neck. But my 3/4 zip was zipped up because I don't like to get shot in the neck. And he's like, "I shot you in the neck." I'm like, "Okay, cool." Like he said he did it. I didn't feel it. I called my hit. I got medicked, and I got right back into it. But that's just how I do things. And I'll let you know that I hit you, and I know I did. And if you don't want to call it, and you want to keep shooting at me, that's when I shoot back until you fucking call it.
Yeah.
Now, if you say, "Hey, all right, you got me, cool," I've been clearing or walking, and the guy will come up on my flank, and he'll just walk up to me and on my back and tap me on the shoulder, because a lot of these big events, there's no minimum distance. Mm-hmm. I can shoot you point blank if I want to.
Yeah.
Most guys will take that. All right, come around the corner. All right, we'll just parlay. We'll just both call ourselves out, and we'll go back.
Yeah.
So I would say 95% of the time it's fair play, it's good play, it's great. Like you said before, we're just there to have a good time.
Right.
I pay fucking $200-$300 sometimes, depending on what event we're going to. Mm-hmm. I don't want to do it angry. I don't want to see anybody else have a bad time either. No. So fucking go out there and have fun. And we do these with Centurion. We do AARs all the time.
What is that?
After action review.
Oh, gotcha.
In the Army, they're called AARs. So when we're doing the AAR, everyone's bitching about, "Oh, I didn't like this, I didn't like that, and I didn't have this, and I didn't have that, and the storyline and this and that." It's like, look, when it comes to Centurion, because they're so unique with the LARPing aspect, you are the reason you didn't have a good time. Not me, not the ref, not the other players, not anybody else. You. And I've put that out probably fucking after every review. I do a thing where I do in the Army we do 3 up and 3 down, 3 positives and 3 negatives, right? So I do my 3 up and 3 down. At the end of everything, I always put, "You are in control of your gameplay, nobody else's."
Yeah.
I can't tell you, I can't make you have a good time. If you had a bad time, that's your fault, not mine.
Gotcha.
I paid $200 some to be there. I'm gonna have a fucking blast. I'm gonna run around. On Sundays, usually it's a half day.
Yeah.
So I didn't do it this because I didn't bring my speaker, but I'll bring my fucking Bluetooth speaker and I'll start playing Fortunate Son, or I'll start playing some Viking chant or some Metallica song, and I have it on my backpack. Nice. And it's just blaring. So it's not like you can't find me. I'm 5'8", I'm 300 pounds. You can't fucking miss me when I'm not blaring music. So when I got music going, you know where the hell I'm at. come find me. You're mad because I did something to you, or you didn't feel like you got a great time out of it. Go find the guy who's blaring music on a Sunday afternoon before the end of the day.
That's awesome. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, having fun's the point. Like that's
It's
when these
that's the only point. That's
yeah
the whole
these
thing about it.
when it's not fun anymore,
I'll,
and
I'll,
that's
I'll
actually yeah, that's what like with this with our channel, these podcasts, I legit enjoy. This is I found my thing. I really found my thing. I love doing this right here.
I did a
Uh,
podcast called One Grunt's Opinion. Uh,
nice.
it was me and my buddy. He's got his own page. It's called One Grunt's Opinion.
Yeah.
And great dude. And so he's like, dude, I'm gonna start a podcast. So we're on Spotify. We don't do it anymore because he's kind of semi-retired from Airsoft
Yeah.
to focus on his family and his
Oh,
weight
it's an
loss
Airsoft
journey.
podcast. Hell yeah.
Yeah, it was
Okay.
Airsoft.
Yeah, yeah.
Former infantry guy.
Mhm.
He's a big guy like myself, and he's kind of stepped away from Airsoft to focus on his mental health and his physical health and his family.
Gotcha.
And good for him. So we did like 11 or 12 episodes. You can find it on Spotify and
Really?
listen to it. And yeah, it's One Grunt's Opinion. And
I
it
got
wasn't
your Strikeforce Milsim photography page pulled up too.
I haven't posted anything on that in a while
No,
because
but you
I don't.
got some good pictures on here.
Yeah, all of those pictures was taken either by my GoPro or by my ex-wife. All the videos were through a GoPro. The original Aniston videos there, where I actually jumped on a fake grenade.
Do you mind if I share it?
Yeah,
If I
no,
share the
go
screen? Yeah, yeah.
go
Let me
go
share-
right
let me
ahead.
Share it. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So these first couple here on that page there,
Mm-hmm.
done with Real Sim. Uh, they're combat veterans.
Yeah.
That was done at D-Day Adventure Park in Oklahoma.
Okay.
So that was my original logo. It still is my logo. We just took out I just changed the Punisher grenade, which actually I have that tattooed on me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we changed that out and we went with the pineapple because my call
That's your
sign.
name.
That's my name, pineapple. Yeah, all these videos are all these pictures here are all done at
Oh,
D-Day.
yeah, I see D-Day right here.
Yep. Which pre-COVID was the destination to go. D-Day holds the largest paintball event in the country
Yeah.
at one point in time. So, yeah, that's all. So now here, if you scroll back up just a little bit, right there, this is these wood line, and that's actually a breaching house.
Like this?
Yep, that's a breaching building. There's a bunch of them. That is the arena training. Yeah, that's all. They teach SWAT teams and Rangers, and actually that event there was that's the arena training facility in Perry, or is it Perry? It's in Georgia.
Yeah.
It's Centurion, and that event had actual Rangers on the AO just a few days before we arrived, and they were doing a breaching class.
Yeah.
So then the smoke-filled ones are actual kill house. They have a $1.2 million. This is an actual structure. The reason that this is all smoky here is I made the stupid mistake of tossing a smoke grenade next to a door, and it literally just smoked everybody out. That's a Centurion event.
You know how to clear a room, huh?
I do know how to clear a room. As you scroll down, this is Pritchard, Oklahoma.
Okay.
In 2019, that guy right there. If you stop right there, you see that's that guy right there. He's actually a forest guy from Utah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's a smoker or a smoke jumper. Yeah, that's what they call it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what he does for a living.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah, works for the forestry there.
Right.
More of these are just doubles. I gotta figure out how to get access to that page and redo that. That's D-Day again.
Okay, I see what you mean. Yeah.
This
So
is
these are just like photo dumps that from you or.
this is all from my GoPro. This is actually right here. This is LaPorte, Indiana,
Mm,
at Sherwood Forest. Actually, there's a video of me running down. I have my kit on, but
yeah.
I take my gun off. Operation Ice Pick, Ice Frost or Ice Pick. That's the patch there for it. But I run down the hill and I fucking baseball slide into this guy and revive him.
Oh shit.
Yeah, this is more D-Day stuff. This is going back into Oklahoma, or not Oklahoma, but back into Pritchard, not Pritchard, but God damn it, the Arena Training Facility in Georgia. That's actually the
So
team. I was the ODA. I was the ODA lead for that event. I
you got a
usually,
lot of pictures on here, bro.
yeah. So we stayed at these cabins. The guy here in front, Dominic, he's the young kid in the darker green kneeling down. He's actually admin for Centurion.
Mm-hmm.
50 feet behind the individual who's taking that photo is the AO. That's where it
Oh,
starts.
okay.
That's where that house is. It's like 50 to
Oh,
100 feet from right where that picture was taken. And these are
gotcha.
single cabins that you rent and stay down there. Centurion does a lone operator mission, which was a super cool kind of one-on-one. When they at that event, they dropped the guy off in the
Yeah.
middle of the AO at one of the houses, and he had to escape from the house
Holy shit.
and then make his way to an egress point, an exfil point, without being captured again. So he had 4 guys in the house with him. He had no weapons. He was bagged and tagged. He had to escape from the house and get to an evac point that was predetermined for him once he got out of that house.
Damn.
And nobody knew about it. Nobody. So you buy your ticket, you get a raffle for the lone operator. It's like $5,
Yeah.
right? And then they tell you what's going on, and then you're not allowed to talk about it to anybody. And that's what I like about Centurion. I've actually done events. I've done most of their events, and they do a lot of stuff off the AO. It's not just exclusive to the playing field.
Yeah.
I've gone into town, into Perry, Georgia, and met with a guy. Me and 2 other guys went in civvies, met with an actual random preacher. He was the preacher of the local church,
Yeah.
and he had a script. He was going to give us intel and a flash drive, and then we drove back.
Yeah.
I've seen guys get fake assassinated at a McDonald's.
Oh, damn.
I'm not kidding you.
The people were freaking out.
Oh yeah, people didn't understand. They got one guy in his hotel room.
Holy shit.
This last event, I have pictures on my. Once I get this page figured out again, either start a new one or get access to the original. There's I have pictures of my lone operator event because I did mine at the Indiana event that I just went to in Mustatuck a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
And my goal, my portion of the event was to get into the protest. They were gonna have a protest at the prison.
Yeah.
I went in undercover. I had my Glock 19, and that was it. Oh, and I had an MP7 in my backpack for in case I had to really bug out. But otherwise, I went in with nothing, and I was
Nice.
supposed to infiltrate the protest
Right.
and go wherever they went. And then if I got back to their camp, to the Ferris camp, because they're the guerrillas of this storyline. So they usually camp out in the woods. So if I got back to their camp at a certain time, I was to walk down to the square back into town, which is probably a half mile. Just grab my gear, whatever I got on me, and just mosey on off into the sunset. And they were going to pick me up. Unfortunately, I got made because of who I am, and some people don't take that LARPing serious, and they're like,
Right.
oh, that's Pineapple. He's not supposed to be on our side. He's an ODA guy. They don't go along with the
The
storyline,
story.
the immersion part of it.
Right.
So I got made, and um, the guy pulls me aside, and he's like, hey, we know who you are, and we're going to kill you now.
Mm-hmm.
And so I have my inside the waistband Glock because I'm a lefty, and it just worked out perfect. So I distance because distance is your greatest friend in a firefight,
Mm-hmm.
close quarter combat. So I push him back, pull out my Glock, I put two into him, and I start running. Like I'm running towards the ODA guys. I'm a big dude. I got a big old belly. You can see where this is going. I start running. The sheriff stops me at gunpoint. He's like, "You come with me," in his very Mexican, very South American accent. So I give up. And I'm like, I'm not going to fucking jail because in the storyline, nobody actually goes to jail. They just disappear.
Mm.
So I got burned. So I had to do whatever I had to do to escape. So he starts walking me over. I still have my backpack. So I still have an MP7 in my backpack.
Yeah.
I don't have my Glock no more. So the sheriff lets me get into the passenger side, and I act like I'm getting in, and then I run. I just haul ass. Well, with having a big old belly, that belly just sometimes likes to go faster than I can run. So I do a combat. I trip on my own 2 feet, do a combat roll, and next thing you know, I've got I don't know 8 or 9 guys at gunpoint, just right there.
Oh shit.
So they take me to jail, but I'm not going to jail easily. So I resist. It's all on video. I'm trying to get Unicorn to give me the video, but he's got it on video of my in processing portion where I resist.
Yeah.
I actually sprained my wrist because of it. They actually brought in the photo part of it. I have photos of they brought in the local Butlerville or whatever county agency that is. They
Yeah.
brought in that county agency from outside the AO to bring in these 3 guys, and we didn't know about it till after a lady had saw this because they had 4 sheriff's officers with real guns pointing at our guys staged. It was all staged,
Right. Right.
but somebody saw that because they bagged him and tagged him in a park in
Right. They
town.
didn't know. Yeah.
They didn't know. Some lady didn't know. Got it on film, thinking that this was like some high
A
risk real
yeah.
arrest. So they
Uh-huh.
bring these guys in, and I'm telling the one guy who was a press guy, I'm like, dude, these are real fucking cops. He's like, yeah, they're real with real guns and real tasers. Like they're really on duty. But Bubba Moore, who runs Centurion, along with David, they prearranged with the county. Bubba, his instructor, is now the sheriff of this county. His ranger
Oh shit.
instructor.
Okay.
So he knew the guy, or his company commander, or whatever he was. So
Right.
he knew the guy. He arranged all this. And at the end, he tells a story about how he arranged all of it. And
Oh, he arranged the real cops coming in.
yeah, he arranged real
Holy
cops.
shit, dude.
That's how immersive Centurion.
Yeah,
That's why
that's
I do it.
elaborate, bro.
That's why I do Centurion so much because they have such elaborate storylines. Like it's an evolving storyline. Like when a main character dies off
Yeah.
or gets killed in combat, they give a backstory of why or how it happened. There's been drone strikes, and they do. If you go to their website, you can see they pull them from the internet and they just doctor them to make it look like we drone striked an area.
Yeah.
So they get really immersive with it, and I love it. Absolutely love Centurion, and I wish more
That
companies
is
would do
wild.
that.
I
Yeah,
think yeah, I want to say I've heard of it, but I don't
and
because
they
there's not a whole lot of companies that do that for events like
no
that level of it.
no
There's a couple I've talked with that do, but most of the bigger mill sims, they're pretty good like as far as on that day for that thing, but they don't have the role play thing. They don't have
No.
characters. They don't have like you're just a number. It's just like the military. You're a number. That's it. You know, whatever. Go
Yep.
out and do your force on force thing. But they have cool effects. They have cool shit going on. You know, Third Coast. I went to Stonebreaker. I went to Iron Dagger. These
Yes. Speaking of Third Coast, Sal was the Commandos Company commander for the Centurion event that we just
oh,
went to.
no
Yeah, I know
shit.
Sal. Yeah, Sal is
Oh yeah, yeah.
Sal's a good friend of mine. I've because I've put myself in the position to meet these people
Right.
and get to know them and promote their. You know, I've been to a couple. I haven't been to Stonebreaker, but I've been to a couple other events with Third Coast, and actually that's who I did Series Viking with, was Third Coast.
Right.
Um, sometimes I play a
Sounds cool.
squad leader. Sometimes I play a squad leader in a leadership position. Otherwise, like I do the AMS event at Mustanatuk, for Arsenal in June.
Yeah.
Like I didn't sign up to be a leader. I just wanted to go play. Because as alpha as I am, or as outgoing as I am, sometimes you just want to fucking run around and just shoot motherfuckers. So
I
yeah,
hear you.
Centurion is unlike any other event holder that I've ever, and they keep their numbers small, and they keep
Oh,
their price
okay.
point. They keep their price point small. Dave, who is the co-founder, he does stuff that, like in his, they all have regular jobs. I mean, most of them do. You know,
Yeah.
Bo Stewart works for LBX. Not to throw him out there like that, but you know, they have jobs, and a lot of these guys are still government contractors, and they
Mm.
still. I mean, I've played with, dude. I played with a guy who still works for Triple Canopy.
Oh, okay.
You know, which used to be uh, the division of Blackwater. You know,
Okay.
so I mean, airsoft literally does transcend everything. Like the John
No
Liu,
shit, right?
you know, like with John Liu and Lions Claw, they're doing the 30th anniversary of Operation Gothic Serpent. So they're gonna try and bring in uh, um, Colonel McKnight again, because that was always his kind of his baby. They're gonna try to bring in, you know, the guys that actually fought in that conflict and bring them in for this anniversary.
Holy shit.
Um, Command Sergeant Major retired Mark Kolosinos is a former Delta operator.
Hmm.
I've done several events with him. He's going to be there. Mad Max Mullins, if you've ever heard of Max Mullins. Um,
I'm not. No, I'm not familiar. It
uh,
sounds familiar. The name sounds familiar, but I don't know.
One of the few guys that has served in all three Ranger battalions.
Okay.
Wrote the handbook for the hand-to-hand combat for the Rangers that they still use to this day.
Oh shit.
Super cool.
Okay.
Very large, and I say large, I mean muscular. Very large black gentleman who couldn't be more down to earth. I mean, the man's just humble.
Yeah.
Just will tell you every story of his entire military career. Will help you with anything. Super cool guy. He's going to be there, so it's going to be a huge thing, and you know I can't wait for that. That's in September. So you've back to my one of my questions from earlier. So you've never been at an airsoft event at all?
I've been to Stonebreaker.
You've been a Stonebreaker,
Yeah, I've been to a handful of events. And a couple of
but you've never
fields.
played.
Never played. So Stonebreaker and Iron Dagger, I went as press pass.
Okay,
Hmm. Yeah.
it's an
So
experience.
yeah, it's an experience. So when we first started our channel, obviously even with the reviews and stuff, I could barely even function with my grip being as weak as it was. I couldn't even function like a pistol, even an airsoft pistol. If you put it in my hand, I couldn't rack the slide.
Right,
Uh, I just didn't have I couldn't squeeze
dexterity.
it and then pull it or hold it tight in my hand. I'm way better than I was, but as far as walking, I lose my balance real easy on uneven terrain, especially. Um, and I've fallen a lot because even when I was laying in bed, I wouldn't use a walker, I wouldn't use a wheelchair, I wouldn't use a cane. I would roll out of bed, literally fall on the floor, and crawl on my elbows to the bathroom. and most of the time I couldn't get on the toilet, I would crawl into the tub and piss in the tub. So uh, I just I have fallen a ton. My knees are tore up. You know, and I'm not crying about it. I'm not bitching about it. I'm
No,
not whatever. But as far as going to an event and actually playing, I could probably hold a rifle for 15 minutes at a time. Where I could actually function it and use it. That's not fun to me. Okay.
no, I get it.
What would be fun to me is if I could jog a little bit, and move without falling. Okay. And then function a weapon properly, and the dexterity in the fingertips, man. The strength in the fingertips. That's the thing. Like, if I had to function something like the mag change or trying to reload a mag or trying to, I just, it's not. It's more work than it's worth.
Right.
So
No,
I would
I
have to
mean,
have somebody right there with me. That's not. I
right.
don't want them to be. Look, I'm not relying on somebody. Fuck all that shit.
No,
Not get in a
I mean, hear you.
wheelchair. Yeah, people have that. I've
But
when I talk to
you
people
have
on
a
here.
you have a platform
Yeah.
such as your podcast, and you know the events that you have done being press. And until I stumbled on you, I never heard of you, but
Yeah.
I do appreciate that you have a voice to spread, to get, maybe,
Oh yeah.
because you can't be out there physically playing, and some people don't see that. Okay, he does a podcast about airsoft, but he's never played. But then when they understand the context of things, they're
Yeah.
like, okay, that makes sense. So to have that voice and have that platform that spreads the message of what airsoft is and what it is for people and what it does. I
Right.
mean, if you look at airsoft as an industry, it's a 1.5, I think, or 2.5, one of the two trillion with a T worldwide.
Really.
Yeah.
I didn't
So
think it was that big because most
airsoft is huge. So
it must be only big as far as money goes. It must be big in the manufacturing and sale
yes,
of
yes.
those
So
those
airsoft
things.
started
Yeah.
in the 70s,
Yeah. Right. What,
in Japan, because they
Japan
have
or
such
yeah.
such strict gun laws,
Uh huh.
and it has developed Amy, or not Amy, Anne. I think Amy or Anne, or I don't remember her name, but her father is the founder of G&G, and they go to SHOT Show, and I went to SHOT Show this year,
Oh. Okay.
and she wasn't there, but I have met her at events, and yeah, a lot of the trillions of dollars that come are from the manufacturing and sales.
Yeah.
It's huge in Europe. Like they do like airsoft, like not just a 3-day event. They do like an airsoft week.
It's a festival,
It's a festival. Like
the
it's a
National
whole,
Airsoft Festival in
yeah. In
UK.
in 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 Europe, it's fucking huge.
It's huge, bro.
And I actually met Navrij this year at SHOT Show.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Very nice guy. Kind of hard to understand because he's English, but we don't hold that
No, he's
against him.
what is he?
Isn't he English, or is he Swedish,
No,
or
it's
he's
Belgium. No,
he's European? We'll go with that.
yeah, Netherlands or something like that. Yeah,
Well, whatever he is,
yeah.
he's very hard to understand. But you talk to him for about 5 minutes, and then you kind of just figure out what he's trying to say. And he's a super cool guy, and they got a lot of cool stuff coming out next year. And I've Rudiment Arms. I don't know if you've ever heard of them. They're based out of Michigan.
Rudiment?
Yeah,
No.
Rudiment Arms. If you look them up, Rudiment Arms is the Michigan-based Oran, or Turk, as he's called. Oran is he does the hit stick. I think the hit stick has revolutionized the airsoft industry.
Hit stick.
Hit stick. So hit sticks works like this. Everybody goes out there and you have a red rag, right?
Yeah.
Well, hang on 1 second. I'll get it for you. Give me a second.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
I still have it. My headset's wireless. So basically, it fits onto your kit, and you have 3 lives, and you pull each one as your shot. I'm grabbing my kit right now, which is actually it's an Osaka
I'm on
kit.
their website right now. I'm gonna pull it up.
Yeah, they have a 2nd gen now, and they're working through that. I run an Osaka kit.
Okay.
Fucking love them. So I'll also be able to show you how body armor vent works. Let me
Yeah,
move
yeah. I
this
was gonna
table.
say since you recently found me, you probably haven't seen a lot of these podcasts. Well, they most of these podcasts are show and tell. Like people, they're like gun shows. Like people bring out all their
Oh
gear, all
fuck!
their guns,
All
and
right,
show off
so
all their shit.
this is your red rag, right? Can you see me?
Okay. Yeah, I
All
can
right,
see it.
so red rag works normal, right? So I pull that out, I'm dead,
Yeah.
right? I use that for visual effects,
Mm-hmm.
but instead of having, oh, and I have my custom Kydex, which is based out of Michigan. It's a custom radio holder. But here's
Nice.
your hit stick right here. This is a Rootment Arms. God damn it. First gen. You son of a bitch. There we go. First gen hit stick. I think they retail for like $15. So works like this. So I'm out in the field, right? Can you see that? You see that really well?
Yeah, I can see that. Mm-hmm.
All right. So I'm on the field, and you shoot me, right? Okay, pull it down. Bam. That's one life. It's red.
Yep.
That's red. Okay.
Okay.
So then I get back up. I put my dead rag away, and I'm revived. Right. You shoot me again. Now I'm dead. Again, it's my second life. Right. Actually, that's my third because here's the first one, and your second one, and the third one you're out. And it just sits like that. And now I have to bleed out or walk back to the thing.
Right.
And I put that because I put that on my back like this because when a guy comes up to me, hey, it's on my back. I'll fix that later. But this, as we're doing show and tell, slide that thing in here. That's actually a Valken tactical, and it just velcros right on there.
Oh, nice tattoo there, Star Wars.
Oh, dude, don't. I'm gonna go down that road. It's a whole sleeve. I have a lightsaber in my room that lights up, and
Bro.
dude,
Hey, listen. I mean, you can show off all this shit. We've got time. If you have time, I have time. Some of these, my longest podcast is 4 hours and 10 minutes.
I've got time. So,
We can show all this shit.
fuck yeah. This is the body armor vent invented by a cop out of Chicago. Got hurt on the job. Wanted to give back to the law enforcement community. That's how it started. And then Eric, I don't remember his last name. I'm not good with names. Eric got involved with him a few years ago, and they used to you'd pump air into these channels, and it would keep you cool. And then they went to this design, and it's all held on there. Mine's a little. It's all held on there by Velcro.
Nice.
And that's the whole system right there. And when you buy it, it's like $60, I do believe. And if you use the discount code Pineapple, it gets you 15% off.
Perfect.
But it has these ridges and holes, and when you're moving around, it sits right here where you're underneath, in between your body and your plate carrier. And it comes with instructions. It comes with about 6 feet of Velcro tape.
Yeah.
And it just fits just like that, and it comes with a front and a back. They make them. You can get custom panels to where you can put them here as well. Like I said, I run a Yakeda, or it's Yakeda.
Yakuza?
Utica. It's a Japanese brand. I love it. It's made for bigger guys like myself.
Yeah.
And I typically run an M4. This is a custom Kydex radio holster that I had made by Ben Taryn out of Michigan, Kalamazoo. He laser cuts all this shit. It has my logo on it.
Nice.
But yeah, that's my plate carrier. But yeah, I was at a pawn shop one day, and see, a lot of events have these. These are your ace bandages, and you wrap them around, and that's why Rudiment Arms went with the hit stick to not have to carry that. Actually, I get most of my shit honestly off of Amazon.
Yeah, I'm on their website right now. The hit stick thing.
Yeah, Rudiment Arms. They have the They have their own plate carrier they just came out with. It's a double-sided plate carrier.
Yeah.
So if you're running green or tan, you don't have to and you want your gear to match your faction, you don't have to have two different types of plate carriers. You just it's a very minimal system, and
Yeah.
it just reverses. It's reversible. And Turk and William Love are based out of Michigan, and um, great bunch of guys. I met them through Airsoft. I run Milwaukee Kydex stuff. They're based out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and
Yeah.
Josh is a super cool guy. I try to buy things from my airsoft fellow airsofters because it promotes their small business.
For sure.
Yeah, I run a big. Body armor event is a body armor event is a national product, and they're a big. They're going to be a big company one day.
Yeah. I mean, everyone starts out somewhere.
But Anthony Patton, that is one of their spokesmen, is an airsofter. These guys are all airsofters. All of them.
Right on.
Airsoft Brittany wears wears body armor event as well.
Yeah.
I run it. I run it for about 2 years now, and I absolutely fucking love it. Being a bigger guy, it helps cool me down faster,
Mm-hmm.
and it
Right.
keeps. And that's the whole point of body armor event, is to keep you in the fight longer and more efficiently. And so yeah, anytime I can promote or help a small airsoft company, I got a tank. Ben made my tank. It's made from Kydex. He makes it out of his basement in his house.
Yeah.
And he's an airsofter. He goes to a
Yeah.
lot of events. He just had a baby last year, so he's kind of slowed down.
Well, that's the cool thing, man. Like doing this, it's exactly what I want to do is get people's story out there. I love meeting people, but I want to get their story out there because most people I talk with on here are not big YouTuber. They're not famous or whatever. They're not super well known online. They're well known in their fields, and then the events
I
they
mean,
go to.
Desert Fox is becoming well known outside of the airsoft field.
Yeah,
He's a YouTuber, and so is David Lai. David Lai is an airsofter, but he's also a YouTuber.
yeah. I want to promote everyone's what they're into. So, like, when we before this comes out, I want you to send me a list of all the ones you just named.
Yeah.
I was trying to write them down. I was trying to keep up. All these different companies you named, like all the different gear you have, anyone you want to shout out, and I'll put all those links in the
Absolutely. Yeah, I'll send you.
yeah,
I'll send you it through Discord.
yeah, that'll work out great, dude.
Yeah. There's
Okay.
and even though I promote them, I buy from them. I don't get a discount.
Well,
And
sure.
the only discounted code I get is from Body Armor Event, and because it's such a unique call sign, like pineapple, like it's attention grabber kind of deal. So,
Well, speaking of those kind of, the company, shout outs and sponsors and things like that and codes, I recently had two sponsors. I never got into sponsor stuff because I didn't really know, because I don't play. Because I'm like,
right.
I don't buy BBs. I don't, we used to because we did reviews and stuff, but since we don't do those anymore. But I had set up a way to. Somebody asked me about this when I had Hefe Airsoft on, Hefe's Airsoft Solutions. Had him on the podcast, and he was like, he texted me after, was like, hey, wanting to sponsor the podcast, and I'm like, I don't really know. Like, I hadn't thought about it, and we had never, even in our channel before when we were doing mystery boxes, whatever, we never reached out to anyone to like, hey, will you sponsor us to give us a code for the blah 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 whatever. I just didn't. We were doing reviews. I didn't want to be kind of locked into talking good about a certain thing, and we just like, hey, we'll just do our thing. We didn't want somebody telling us what to say, and but anyway, it's kind of come up recently. I have Skirmish. I don't know if you ever heard of them.
Okay.
It's the wristband. It's an RFID reader. They're a big. Starting to become big now. His original idea. This is a tracking system. So it tracks your points. Like when you take over objectives, they'll have a box that goes with this. You have this on your wrist, right? You run in, at Milsim events, right? You have to flip the switch, and it starts counting your points to your
Yep.
color, whatever. So this remedies that. This doesn't have to be on, very low powered, all this stuff. The boxes he has, they run on. He's made them to where you can hook them up. You can either plug them in if you have power out, power where you're at, or you can use a lipo battery or a 9.6 volt battery or something like that to run it. But anyway, so you tap this and that counts as taking the subjective, or you have to hold it for so many seconds to medic somebody or whatever. Like it's a very versatile system, and they have all this stuff, all of your personal stats on their website. So there's a worldwide leaderboard broken down by locations and events, like all kind of shit.
Yeah,
So
I'll have to look into that because I've never
it's
heard of
really
them.
really fucking cool, man. And the thing is, all of this stuff is updated in real time on their website. So like, let's say it's Stonebreaker at GTI. You've been to GTI, I'm sure.
No,
Uh,
actually, I haven't.
oh, you haven't been there yet. Okay,
No,
so
not
you've
yet.
been to
But
Series Viking, but
I've been to
so
Sears
like
Viking
in
at Guardian Center.
one spot in there's no service. Like even it's very hard to even get a cell signal out in at GTI here in South Carolina. But and this is where they hold Iron Dagger
Yeah,
and
Barnwell.
yeah, Barnwell. So there's one spot that they have where all these trailers that you can rent out if you want to stay there, instead of sleeping on the grass, whatever, is they have Wi-Fi there. And then they have Wi-Fi at the main building where they do the briefings and stuff. So his all Brandon needs. Brandon's the owner of this. He was in the Navy actually. The Navy sent him to MIT. Uh, at MIT, he worked on a project for DARPA, and now he actually works for a company, a subcontractor for DARPA. And he created a system that basically it's a mesh system that he created for whatever the project he was working on that helps drones talk to each other, communicate over long distance, whatever. Well, he used that to incorporate that kind of same idea. And these boxes can go almost a mile between each other and they still talk to each other. So
That's awesome.
only one needs to be close to the Wi-Fi. So one connects to the Wi-Fi, and now you can go, I think it's like 100-acre radius. That's fucking huge.
Oh, that's huge.
So anywhere on the field, and you have these different boxes. So now what happens is, and this is why he would need the Wi-Fi when he does this, is when I tap this or you tap this, if I'm sitting here at home and I didn't go to the event that you're at, but I want to see how the event's going, I go on to Skirmish's website, skirmish.net, and I pull up your event, and I can see what objectives are being taken over, how long, who's
As they're
winning
being as in real time as it's
in
happening.
real time. In real time.
That's awesome.
That's fucking crazy, bro.
That is
So
fucking crazy.
now he's trying to get into big milsims because that's what the original intent for this system was. But most milsim coordinators he's talked with kind of brush them aside because they have their own thing, like they have their own little box and stuff, that they flip and they can see in their TACCOM thing. But the problem is nobody else can see it, and once you leave that event, you don't know what you did. You don't know what your team did. You don't know what green did, how many points green had. Yeah, when they tell you at the end, but can you go onto their website and see? No. It's like, where's the updated stuff? And, like, anyway, and this is how I found him, was asking questions like this because I was stuck at home and my boys were going to these Milsim events. I would see their GoPro footage. I would edit it, and I'm going, well, is there a way for me to see how the progress is going, like during the event? No. I'm like, well, shit. Well, and then they would come home and tell me, hey, Tan won by 30,000 points, whatever. I'm like, well, where can I go on there? Can I go on there and see that? And they're like, no. I'm like, well, what the fuck? So anyway, that's kind of where me asking why.
Right.
Where's this? Where's that? So that's where that came from. But also, so they're a recent sponsor of this podcast.
Nice.
Also, Hefe's Airsoft, who asked me originally, he's a sponsor of this podcast as well. And so, I mean, I do these shout outs just recently I started for myself, but it's or for people that want to be involved in what we're doing here. And then you guys, I want to get all of the stuff that you're involved with. Whoever you'd like, your friends, if they own a company like Gunfather Milsim, I had him on. He's a real world SWAT officer, okay, in the middle of in a state in Nebraska or something like that. He's been on there for 20 years, almost 20 years. He was a sniper, um, and kicking indoors for real, right?
Yeah.
For his job, and he makes his own slings, single point, double point slings. We actually bought a couple of them,
Oh,
bro.
uh,
They're fucking awesome. But
I think I
anyway, I
think
want
I,
to promote
I'm
all your guys' stuff.
I think I heard of him. I may
Yeah.
have. I look at so much airsoft shit,
Right.
but honestly, and because I don't feel I need to have the latest, greatest cry or die bullshit. I never
Yeah,
bought into
right.
that. Fuck. I got a Chinese fucking company that I get my plate carriers from, and I get my uniforms from because they have uniforms too, and
Fucking
they fit.
commie.
They just fit fucking bigger guys though. For some reason,
I,
they fit the
I'm
bigger
kidding.
dudes.
Oh, I know.
Communist. But I got a tactical Copenhagen holder.
What?
Yeah. Hey,
Get out of here, bro.
babe.
I got to see this shit.
All right, give me a second.
Yeah,
I'll go
go get
get
it.
it. Yeah, it fits as a molly attachment. It also has a belt attachment too. Yeah, I'll get it. I gotta run out. I may lose connection.
That's fine.
Are you there?
Yes, sir.
All right. Love wireless technology.
Right.
So, it's made from Kydex. It's made by a company called fuck. I can't read it here. Getting old.
Wait till you get back on screen because I'll cut all this out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. You ready to have your mind blown here?
I don't know. Let me get prepped. Holy shit. Okay.
It just fits on your belt, but you can put it on your kit if you want.
All right.
But it just
So
goes
how did you find this? All right. Yeah, it snaps in and it holds it tight.
hold it just like that.
Oh my God. And it's got the cutout in the bottom so you can push it out of there if you need to.
Oh yeah,
Instead of like trying to grab the top or something.
yeah, it's made with Kydex. I was at an event a couple years ago. I don't remember where I saw it or who it was. But I was like, dude, what is that? He's like, it's a tactical dip holder.
Dude.
I was like, no fucking way. So I went on Amazon. Amazon didn't have it, and it was like $50. I was
Damn.
like, I'm not spending 50. I went to their website. I was like, I'm not spending $50. So I kind of gave up on the idea for a while.
Yeah.
And then last year, I was like, you know what? Things have probably progressed a little bit. Milwaukee Kydex actually sells them now,
Nice.
and the price point's at $27, and that's what I paid for
not
that.
bad.
No, and
Is that
Milwaukee
where you got it
Kydex.
from? Milwaukee, whatever?
No, I
Is
got
that
it
you
from.
found it?
I found it. Stratton Tactical.
Mm.
Their logo is right there. Stratton Tactical, who I got it from, but I got it through Amazon. But you can go to their website and get it too.
Gotcha.
But Milwaukee has been making them. I didn't know it at the time, or else I would have got it from Josh. Milwaukee's been making them for like 4 or 5 years now.
Oh, okay.
I didn't even fucking know.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
Milwaukee Kydex is about to drop. It's on their website. What they call a McDouble holder.
A double.
A McDouble. No, it's
McDouble.
a McDouble. So same concept, right? So same concept, but
Yeah.
you put your cheeseburger.
Get out.
I actually have a screenshot. I'm not kidding you.
I gotta see this, bro.
It's fucking hilarious. But I'm gonna buy one because
Oh my God, that's wild.
Yep. That's on Milwaukee. It's new. It's called the McDouble Kydex holster,
Yeah.
and you can go to mckydex.com and find it. But yeah, it holds a fucking
I'm on MC Kydex right now.
it holds a fucking cheeseburger, dude. I don't know if
That
it's on the
is
market yet or not. But
crazy.
no, well, everyone thought it was a joke. Like this ain't a real thing, and
Yeah.
he posted in the comments like, yeah, this is a real deal. Like I'm doing this.
Do you see the? I shared the screen. Yeah, it is. It's on their. It's on their site right now.
Yeah, and it's $20 or $30.
Right. Yeah, $30. You can get
Yep.
black, brown,
And I'm gonna get multicam and shit like that.
tons of different. Yeah. Holy crap, dude.
Yeah.
That is wild.
Because when you're out on the airsoft field and you get hungry, pull out that cheeseburger. I guess I don't know.
Right?
It's a novelty thing. I don't think it's gonna be as much as I like MC Kydex and what they do over there. I don't think it's gonna be their number one seller, but
Yeah,
it
it's not
is
gonna be
kind
their
of
top seller.
no. And that's the one thing with Kydex, with being a lefty, it's hard now. Not now, but so much when I first started getting into airsoft. You know how hard it was for me to find a left-handed hard holster from. I ran a 1911, an Elite Force 1911.
So all the ones you could find were just the regular
Top
nylon
cover, yeah.
cloth. Yeah.
And if you go through some of my older photos for Operation Irene, it is. I have it right here, but it's a right-handed Kydex holster.
Yeah.
Because they didn't have them. It was so hard to find.
No shit.
Now everybody who makes Kydex makes a lefty for everything. So, yeah, being a lefty sucks financially. Everything's more expensive, dude. Hunting rifles are more expensive. With my real guns, Stag Arms, I love Stag Arms. They have a left side ejection for their AR platform.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So in the military, as well as I do, they don't have left-handed anything.
No.
You fucking learn to shoot right-handed, or you just don't fucking shoot and you get kicked out. So, being all those years being downrange, sending rounds downrange, I'd have brass hitting me all the time, and it got annoying.
Now, when you went in, were you guys still using the? So I got out in '93. Were you guys still using the
A2s and A3s? Yeah, A2s and A3s.
Oh, the A3s. Okay.
Yeah.
So we had M16 A2s. Yeah. Now I will say this: we switched while I was in. We transitioned from the 1911s. I qualified with the 1911 when I first went in. And
to the
we went
Beretta.
to the Berettas, yeah.
Yeah, I qualified with the Beretta.
Yeah.
For a pistol.
Yeah, they switched over when I had to requalify with that.
Product that it's about to hit the market, or it is on the market now that I saw at SHOT Show, is that they have an AT4, an Airsoft AT4, and Elite Force and Humorex puts that out.
I saw, somebody, either Desert Fox or somebody that was a SHOT Show that was doing some videos while they were there. I think showed it off. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a $600 price point though. I tell you what though, I mean,
get that in a mystery box, okay?
Fuck yeah, Novrich actually dropped, or not Novrich, but he might have been the first. But when I did Serious Viking last year, they had a 40 millimeter fucking god damn it,
the grenade launcher, the thumper,
the mortar rounds.
Oh, the mortar.
Yeah, 40 millimeter mortar round.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah, dude.
Drop it down in
and send it.
Boom. Really?
Yeah, and it shoots off. It's powered by gas. It shoots. No, Taggin dropped it. Taggin was actually at Serious Viking.
Dude.
The owner of Taggin was at Serious Viking 4 last year, and he displayed it along with their modular inflatable tent that they have. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, dead serious.
I need to look this shit up, bro.
Yeah, it's inflatable. You like a bouncy house kind of style.
Yeah.
and they're modular. You can hook them up together. They got a module for a shower section, or you can put 4 or 5 together and make a tunnel make a connection through doorways and shit. Yeah, and it's for your camping, for housing, for a talk, for command structure, whatever you want to use it for. And they brought their 40. I don't know if it's a 40 millimeter, but it's a mortar system. They brought their mortar system and shoots off Nerf footballs, and it's run off gas.
Oh, that's wild. Yeah, I'm gonna look at all right, grenade launchers. Let's see here.
Yeah,
I'm on their website right now. Because so when we were doing reviews and stuff, we had one of the viewers that was always commenting and stuff that we became friends with. He actually had just bought a tag-in launcher that goes underneath, the undermount.
Yeah.
And then he sent us the tag-in launcher that was like $600, and 2 Reaper rounds and like 2 dummy rounds or something like that. And maybe it was more. And those things are not cheap. So he sent us all this to use for it to do a review on it. And when I didn't know shit about it, I didn't look it up. I was, whatever. Okay. When we got it, my boys are saying, dude, these things shoot really far and really fast. I was like, no way. Like how? I mean, it's airsoft. Like you can't shoot somebody close with it. It has to be safe, right? And they're like, yeah, but I mean, it shoots really far. I was like, okay, whatever. So we set up a couple tarps in the backyard, and we shot. I think we marked it off at 200 or 250 feet. Okay. Now this is the dummy round. It's like, let's do a test. So we filmed all this. It's on, we actually still have the video up. You can see my face in it because I had a couple different cameras set up. He shoots. The thing goes through the tarp. It was like a fucking rocket. I mean, it was like a bullet. Okay. All you hear is this punk, and then it's gone. And it goes through the tarp into the kudzu in the back. And I'm like, I was just dumbfounded. I was like, holy shit. So anyway,
they usually allow tagging rounds for like vehicle stuff. You're not allowed to shoot them at people.
Right, exactly.
Because they come out so fast.
That's what they told me. Yeah.
They're all propelled by gas.
Yeah, it's all gas. Yeah. And it's rifled, and I was like, bro. So we have some really cool slow-mo videos. Actually, I think I did some shorts on it.
The automatic grenade launcher, the handheld one that we use in the military. You can Tag-in has that system. You can just run those through.
Oh, the Mark 19?
No, the handheld version of the Mark 19.
Oh, okay.
I wish if somebody invents, if the next person that listens to this podcast, if they get to this point, if you're an inventor, please make a Mark 19. Look,
Tag-in could do it, bro. They already got the shit. They already got the system. All they need is the rotating. Now we had the ICS revolver, the thumper like grenade launcher, 40 millimeter with the revolver cylinder on it.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that thing, the handheld. That for ours anyway. I don't know how they all are, but ours was when you pull the trigger, the thing didn't rotate. Like you had to manually rotate. It didn't work right.
No, the newer ones do though. You pull the trigger and it rotates.
They fixed it.
Yeah.
I don't see their damn launchable thing on here.
I don't know if it's on their website yet or not.
Right. Yeah.
But if you look up Tag-in if you look up Tag-in, just Google Tag-in inflatable.
Tag-in inflatable. I got it.
It might pull up. But yeah, they brought it to you. Ask Sal about it. Sal tell you all about it. They brought it to Serious Viking last year, and that
is cool.
That mortar system they brought, you could hear it from like 50 or 60 feet away, going. It makes that sound. It makes the same sound as an actual mortar round or mortar tube, and it launches it. I mean, it launches it, and it's fucking awesome.
Dude, I'm looking up. When I searched Tag-in inflatable,
I don't even want to know what it brought up.
Dude. Look at these pictures.
I ain't got it yet. Let's see.
Oh, you got to click on watch stream or something. Oh, that's funny.
There we go.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it. That one.
Well,
No.
yeah. Look at this. Look at this.
Oh,
All right. So this right here, right?
yeah. It's these bottom. It's just right here.
Uh
See the
huh.
guy right there to the left? Yep, that one right there.
This, and then this one down here. Yeah.
Yep, that's it. That's the tag-in inflatable system.
All right. Let's see where this is at here.
Oh, there's a
Oh,
video.
it's a video.
There you go.
Okay. Tag in squad. Okay.
That's the old GP tents, GP larges. We all know about those. It is a two-man carry, though.
Yeah.
It's not going to set up in 10 minutes. This takes hours.
Really?
Yeah, it takes a while to set this up.
And now that compressor they're using in this video, is that something you have to?
I think it comes with this. I think it comes
Really?
with it.
That's probably why it's so expensive. Okay. Look at that. That's fucking huge, bro.
That'll fit probably 40 guys.
God damn.
And it's all modular.
That is awesome. It's
Now
like
they're
Pelican boxes.
Yeah. Actually, I'm on an online auction. I'm trying to get this Pelican box for like $50.
3D print one yourself.
Yeah, if you have a 3D printer. You got a 3D printer?
No.
All right.
That's a big ass fucking box to print.
Those are, yeah.
Dude, that is amazing.
And there's your shower.
Holy shit. So tag in. I wonder if they're like are they do they supply like military stuff? Because that would be for sure interesting to have back when I was in, where we set up the fucking little hooches, okay?
Yeah. I think the whole system, if you go to I think they have a link to that on that video.
Yeah.
I think it's like $4,500.
Gotcha. Makes sense.
It's not fucking cheap. But if you think about it, if you buy that system, one person buys it or people go into it,
Yeah.
you buy that and you set that up at a site at an event, you just saved, let's say it's $200 a person to stay at a hotel.
Yeah.
And you got 15 guys in there. You just saved 15 guys $200 fucking dollars each.
Exactly.
Yeah. Is the video not on? Oh shit!
What?
Now we're split screen. I don't know. I did something. I touched something.
Oh, we're good.
Okay.
No, we're good on my end.
Yeah, no, I see you. Oh, I don't want to share the screen. No, I don't want to share it. Actually, can I access photos? And I was going to show you some from the last event that I did.
Yeah, so what you want to do, if you want to share something that's on your computer, if you don't want somebody to see what you have on, bring up all your shit first and then hit share screen, and then you can go through your folder or whatever.
Yeah, I'm doing that right now. Here's one.
I don't have to cut it out.
No, there's nothing in here that's not shareable. I just want to show you from the last Milsim, from the last.
See your videos, you rubbing your nipples, okay?
Well, then that's pointless. It's just a couple of. Give me a second. So Centurion does a lot of props, right?
Mm-hmm.
And people make them. And here, I'll just share this one here.
Yeah, you can say click on that share screen, and it should give me a. Then you have to pick which.
Yeah, I'm doing 3 right now, and there are 4. 2 open and 2 closed, and I'm gonna import that. I think. Import complete. Did I do it right?
All you have to do is click on that share your screen, and then it'll come up with a separate window. It'll show you whatever kind of window. If you have different tabs or different items running, it'll show you which one you want to pick, and then you just pick. You click on the one that you want to share, and then it'll give me an option. Either it'll come up automatically or it'll give me an option to watch stream.
Green one. Fuck, I don't know how to do that. Oh, this is not working. Not a good thing. All right. Basically, and we just pull it back up. I tried to share it. I'm not computer savvy. All right, so I have pictures of it. I can just go in there and I'll take a picture and then show it to you. But they made drugs. Share your screen.
Drugs?
They made drugs.
Okay.
Smooth video. I don't want that. Let's not go live.
Who made drugs and what they make them for?
Centurion made drugs for the last event.
Like the
Like
wraps of cocaine and shit.
Something like that. Yeah.
Little
This was
kilo
more
bags or something.
Yeah, and one of the guys that was on my team actually won the drugs itself. Let's pull that up. Dude.
I mean, it was just what is it, like flour or something?
I don't know. I think it's rock. I think it's just rock candy.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think it's just rock candy that they put in one of those containers that you get from Walmart. How would I break that back up?
Yeah, the tryhards. I had them on a couple times, and they're based out of Florida. They go to a lot of different milsims.
All right, so
they had their own event. They made packets of cocaine for their event that they did. Okay.
It's blue rock candy. You can kind of sort of see it's blue there.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, it's blue, and they're in individual bags.
Gotcha.
I'll send you a picture on Discord. It'll be easier that way. I can send it to you on Discord. But it's blue bags.
Send it to me right now, and I'll pull it up.
Yeah, there you go. It's individual little baggies of what I think is actual rock candy that they put in what would be like dime bags.
Nice.
And Centurion does a lot of cool ass shit when it comes to their props. And that's what I absolutely love about I just sent it to you.
I got it.
Yeah.
Do you see it?
Yeah, I'm about to hear in a second. Yeah.
There you go.
It's one of those. Damn it! I got feedback.
Oh yeah, a bunch of little bags, little baggies inside the what looks like a pistol case or something.
No, it's the. Why do I have feedback? It's the waterproof fucking thing that. How do I get back to?
Like a Pelican box type of thing.
Yeah, but it's. Hang on. There we go. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I don't know why it's feedbacking, but it's the water you put like your phone in it, you wallet, you get it at Walmart.
You're not talking through your mic right now. It's going through your camera.
No, I hear you in my head.
It lost your mic thing, so
Yeah.
how about you'll figure it out, bro. It's just technology. It's no big deal.
You got me now?
Yep.
All right.
Lima Charlie. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, but now you're not echoing in my ear.
Nice.
So yeah. Are you there?
Yes.
Okay, I lost your camera feed.
Yep. Turn back on now. There we go. Okay. So it looked like so anyway, yeah. We're good. It Discord on my end had an update. Apparently it ran it while we were running this thing. And it knocked me out for a second out of the call.
They
So,
Centurion made their own money.
yeah,
I have it
like
in my
fake
truck.
money or
I
whatever,
keep it
like
in my truck.
for these events.
Yeah, for these events, they're Copanian money. So if you go to their website at joincenturion.com, you can see the storyline. You have to go back. You'd have to spend a few minutes going through the storyline, but they had a guy walking around with a cart full of snacks and candy, and I mean it's fully
What?
yeah, dude, it's fully immersive, dude. You have if you can get out to a Centurion event, they only hold a couple of them a year. Like this
What
is the
is this
first.
called? Join Centurion? What?
I think it's joincenturion.com. Oh, now I gotta look it up.
Centurion Combat Simulations.
That is correct.
That's it, buddy.
That's it. And there's a whole storyline, and it's run by Michael Bubba Moore. There we go.
You see?
Yep. Yep, that's them.
Okay.
If you go up into the event info, yep, you can go to the events. You can go look at. There's no upcoming events, but in the news section, and you go down, it gives you that was the last one,
Ah.
but it gives you the whole storyline of every.
Did you go to the? Is this the one you went to?
Yeah, I've done all but 5 of the Centurion events. I've done all of them, most of them.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Bubba and I have been friends. So Bubba, not to throw anybody under the bus, but Bubba had and John Liu. Bubba used to do things with Lion's Claw, and he was one of their guys. Like he was their admin. How do I get rid of that? I don't want that. I want this. There you go. So, and then there was an issue at Mustatatuk back in like 2016 or whatever.
Yeah.
And no one of this Mustatatuk did not allow airsoft in there. Period. None. And then Bubba was the first one to get back in there.
Yeah.
After this thing with Lion's Claw happened. And so Lion's Claw is going to be there. Real Sim is going to be there. Mirror's going to be there. We were just there with Centurion and AMS. So they're having like 4 or 5 events throughout the year after this long, giant hiatus of allowing airsofters in there because of the issues between those two. And so that issue happened.
So was that?
It was.
I don't need details on the issue, but did it have something to do with the Lion Claws event that was in South Carolina?
I don't know.
On the news. Oh, okay.
I don't know. I don't even know the details. I just know there was an issue between John and Bubba. They went their separate ways, and that's how Centurion was formed.
Oh, okay. So that's a while ago. All right.
Yeah, this is a while ago. So at one point in time, when they were supposed to go back to that event, their very first event, they were going to allow us to do things like fast rope and rappel.
Oh shit.
Yeah, but then there was a liability issue, and so there's a whole bunch of conspiracy theories and whatnot on that. But to hold 5 events in 1 year at a place that took a almost 10-year hiatus off of airsoft in general, shows that the sport has grown. Shows how
for sure.
Allowing places that typically, Guardian Center. Take Guardian Center. Guardian Center is huge, but they train military personnel. They train first responders there. They train FEMA at Guardian Center. They train a lot of these government agencies, and to allow guys like us to go in there and throw around plastic BBs for a weekend is just it's an opportunity that you should probably do if you're able to. Obviously these things aren't cheap. The event in June with American Milsim at Mustatatuk was a $275 ticket
Okay.
to just play. Now
Yeah.
that's
That's not. I
that
mean, that's not like way out of like crazy. Because
no,
I mean, these guys, have gone to all these different meal sims around here for the last 3 or 4 years, and they went. I think their most of their tickets were close to 200
and I was
apiece.
just in actually last May, I think it was May or June. I was
Yeah.
in Graniteville, South Carolina, I think it is. Yeah, Graniteville, South Carolina, with Lions Claw, and we did a factory
Oh,
there.
you were there. You were there at the event that I'm talking about. So this is the recent one. So this is the one where the lady showed up
Yes.
at the event and started talking like, "What are you guys doing here?" and all this shit. Well, that was in the local news, I
Yeah,
guess,
I was
around there.
okay. So now I know what we're talking about. Yeah, I
Yeah.
was there. I was the TAN commander. I was the CO for all of TAN for that event.
Well, I'm gonna say, so I went to that location a couple months before that event happened, and
Okay.
because there's a field down there, Blue Hole Airsoft, and it's probably 20 minutes away from that location where that event was. Well, me and yeah, it's not a big field as far as popular whatever, but me and one of the guys I've had on our podcast here, or I actually had him on a podcast, but I've also had him on our channel before we started doing a podcast for some of the giveaways we've done, and he came on for a review. Todd is he did a Kythera review, he did a full build on it, whatever. So he lives like 20 minutes away from me. Well, he was like, "Hey, do you want to go to this Blue Hole?" And so we went down there. Well, then when we were leaving, uh, he's like, "Hey, there's a Lion Claws event coming up. I want to see if I want to check out the location. It's like 20 minutes down the road." So we
Right.
went down there. We walked this location. We kind of parked over here on the side. I think, from what I've heard, probably the same area that this lady parked in. Just over the bridge, off to the left, there, across from the
Yep.
building. There's like a gravel kind of area there, just like
Yeah, if you
off.
go across that bridge, that's where
Yeah,
my command center was set up.
gotcha. So we walked that area, and he was like, "It's not real clear where the boundary is going to be," because I'm looking. Because the first thing I said to him, I was filming this. I actually have all these videos and pictures from that day that him and I spent together. I don't. I never made a video out of it. Something happened anyway, but uh, with me, with getting busy, and I didn't do it. But we walked around there, and the first thing I said was like, "Bro, there's houses like right here. Like people live right here.
Yeah,
How are they
yeah,
going to
we're
block this
right
off?"
across the street from people's homes.
I was like, "Where? I mean, how are they going to secure this place? What are they going to do? Shut down the street?" And he was like, "I don't know." This was, like I said, this is months
They,
before the
we
event.
had we had soldiers, we had
Yeah,
players. I say soldiers, but we had players walking down the street, and we was told at the safety brief, "Hey, if you're gonna walk down, you've got to have your guns, your weapons pointed downward.
right.
Do not walk at the ready. Walk with guns pointed down,
Yeah,
like you're just out for a stroll, because we are so close to the general pop that people aren't going to understand what we're doing."
no,
We had to interrupt gameplay. At one point in time, we had to stop gameplay on Saturday because the police were called, and John and
yep,
people above me, because they just basically blind manned us in place for like 30 minutes because they had sheriff's officers there. They had a bunch of other people in it,
that
and
lady called the cops
yeah, yeah.
that showed up.
Thought we were
She
like
and
invading fucking
which
Graniteville,
I understand. Now, I had a group of guys on right after. I think the weekend after that
which is
event.
the
I had
closest I've ever been to town and an event.
hmm
Like that's
exactly.
was super close. But
Well,
anyway, go
that's what
ahead.
we talked about. And so this team that I had on was House of Jackals. They're out of Florida as well. And so House of Jackals, HOJ or whatever, call sign Death came on with a couple of his guys, and they were talking about that event because they had just come back from it, and they were like, "You probably heard about this thing happening." I said, "No, I don't watch the news, bro." And he's like, "Yeah, it was in the local news. They had the cops out there. This lady was over here. They were standing right there with John when this lady pulled up, like the guy in the minivan or whatever car, the husband was in, was sitting there in the front seat, like shaking his head because I was like, well, why did he take her over there? But that's what, why all this shit happened, because it's right across. There's like a church over here. There's a
Yep.
fucking, right across. So on the other side, where the main street is,
Yeah, the parking lot where we were
yeah,
going.
there's like
There's homes.
there's houses over there. It's not that far. Like it was far enough to where your BBs aren't going to hit, but like people are going to see if they
If
go out in
you
their
stepped
front
out on
yard.
your front porch, you could watch gameplay of guys
All you
in
all you
fatigues with
see is
weapons.
100 guys or 200 guys look like a military force just invaded this town.
Yes.
I was like, bro, uh, this is not it's not a good idea.
They're gonna do they were gonna do a second event there, and I was gonna buy a ticket, but that's how I got the Guardian Center,
Gotcha.
because I was gonna buy my ticket for that second event because John had asked me to run tan again,
Mm.
and I was like, okay, I'll run tan again, cool. And so, then they're like, well, it might get canceled. We don't know. We're kind of on the fence. Sheriff's Department and then the fire department, all these other local agencies were like, you can't have guys with guns coming in and out of here. This is South Carolina. Motherfuckers will shoot other motherfuckers for this
They
shit.
will. Everyone has guns. Yeah.
Everybody has guns in South Carolina. So
Uh-huh.
they end up canceling the event. So I bought my ticket for Guardian Center that year.
Gotcha. I was gonna
And
say, man, when Matt from
because this
House
is
of
last,
Jackals was telling me
yeah,
about this,
last year.
my first thought was some of these townspeople, especially in that town. Okay, this is kind of a hick town out in the middle of nowhere. Uh, they have militias, their own militia groups. Okay, we
Yeah, that
have.
that factory was at one point in time when it was up in its heyday. That was the main source of employment for that entire
Uh-huh,
town.
right. Yeah, it's I could just imagine. I could just see when he's telling me about this happening. Uh, a group of guys from the local town coming down and like blue jean operator types with their fucking guns and hunting rifles. Like, bro, we're gonna take back our town. Who the fuck are you? You know? Like,
I mean, we didn't find out all the they had to stop gameplay,
yeah,
and then it came over the net that there was an issue with a lady. We called her Karen because she
yeah,
kind
the
of
Karen. That's what they call it. Yeah, yeah,
the Karen. But then after the when we was doing the giveaway on
yeah.
Sunday, then they gave us the full scope of what actually happened and why things were going. So I think Graniteville or whatever it's called, that town did not want. They didn't know that it was going to be when they authorized this and they gave the permits and the approval to allow us to come in here and do that. I think their thought was, okay, this is going to be good for our local economy for a weekend. It might
Yeah.
help out with things, kind of boost the economy a little bit because of fuel and hotels and things like that. So when all that happened, after it was all done, I think they were like, no, we don't want this no more. So that was a one and done uh,
Well,
event.
I have a suggestion on if anyone listens to this that knows, what they should have done is, and maybe John Lou should have taken initiative on this instead of leaving it up to the city council or whoever allowed them to, who made the decision to let them come in or whatever, is create a small, like a short video explaining the event, that it's airsoft and talking about it, and do like a news clip and put it on the local news
That
every
is a
night for
good
a
idea.
week, every night for a week leading up to that, and letting all the residents around there, because most of those residents are a little older. They watch the news, okay, the nightly news or whatever. They're going to be way more informed. Like, hey, this is what's coming down. We've got this thing. It's not a military training op. It's not real bullets. It's not real anything. Okay, it's just it's a pretend game, or it's a game, right?
Yeah.
And but this is what you're gonna, having that kind of put out there where somebody knows what to expect when they look out their door. They go walk their dog on that street that's right across over there. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
For real.
Absolutely, and I think it
Yeah.
got a little blown out of proportion. So, but I also understand where she's coming from. You know, they've never seen nothing like that. And we do a lot of these AOs. We do Guardian Centers kind of out there. It's not near
Right.
much, but everybody knows in that area Guardian Center. When we go to the arena in the other arena training facility in Georgia, which is like an hour from Guardian Center, people know when they see guys in fatigues. Okay,
Hmm.
they know that hey, they're probably either hunting
Yep.
or they're out at training center
Or they're
because
going to that.
right,
It's the same thing around GTI. When we stopped at a gas station, like the one closest to GTI when we were on our way there, we had hats and we had stuff on or whatever. It was like people are very used to it. And there was a couple guys walking in there that were already decked out that were heading their way that way as well.
right.
And everyone in there is very used to it. They're like, oh, GTI, yep, we know, because they get that traffic all the time. But you go into a small town that's never had that before.
They have probably never heard of airsoft a day in their life.
No what, bro. In the grand scheme of things, no one's heard of airsoft. In the general public, no one's really heard of
Even when I
airsoft.
tell guys that I'm the company I just started working for,
Yeah,
uh, they're like, "So that like paintball?" I'm like, "Yeah, but it's
there you go.
cooler. It's like paintball, but it's cooler. We use actual realistic looking guns." Well, I never got into
Yeah.
paintball because paintball really fucking hurts. Hurts a lot more than
Thank you. It
it.
does hurt
Fucking
more than airsoft. Yes,
fuck
I
yeah,
try
it
to say
does.
that when I first start having people on here, and they're like, oh, I mean, it depends. I'm like, no, 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 it does. Okay, it
It
does.
does.
It's
But
running 300 feet per second is what the most of the fields run, and that ball is way fucking heavier. I don't know what the joules are,
I
but I
don't
would
either.
love to see a comparison with the joules
You
with
should
a paintball.
that should be your next review. Airsoft versus paintball.
I gotta look
But
that shit up.
yeah. But hey,
Yeah.
I do got to wrap this up because we're supposed to go to Detroit and get this.
Yeah,
Uh,
let's go, dude. Let's wrap it up. So give a shout out to whoever you want to give a shout out to, and then end with where people can find you and all your cool shit
all
online.
right. So everybody can find me on Instagram right now. I'm redoing my Facebook, but you can find me at call sign pineapple. I want to give a shout out to Whitehorse Milsim, who's my team, Minty and those guys, and Rambo.
Minty.
I also give a shout out
Snapshot
to
coming out soon.
yes, give a shout out to Centurion Combat Simulations, Lion's Claw, American Milsim, all those guys. Body Armor Event, who if you go to their website at bodyarmorevent.com and use discount code Pineapple, you get 15% off their equipment on your purchase. Give out shout out to you and your podcast. That's really got. I don't know. I don't really do a
That's
whole lot
good,
of shout
man.
outs. Rootment Arms and MC Kydex, who has done things for me over the years. So thank you to all those guys. And remember, guys, if you're playing Airsoft, you are the reason why you have a good or a bad time. Give out shout out to the Valhalla Project for the 22 a day. We do need to stop, and we do need to bring awareness to men's suicide and combat veterans and veteran suicide as well, because men don't talk about shit like that, and we need to. Absolutely need to talk about men's mental health.
Amen, brother.
So
Well, listen,
thank
bro.
you,
It's been.
thank you for having me.
Oh
It's been a
yeah.
great 3 hours or so. You should probably break this up into 3-part sections. Uh, and I'll if you have me again, I'd love to tell you more about the crazy life of Pineapple because it's a bad action movie.
Dude, well, let's do this. Why don't we plan one in the next couple months? And
Absolutely.
you know how you signed up on here?
Yeah.
Um, you signed up on my website, which I appreciate. So
Yeah.
let me explain that real quick. So you didn't text me. We didn't text back and forth on the thing. I sent you, or we texted on Instagram. I sent you
Yep.
the link to the Get Casted. So if you
Simple and
go,
easy.
anyone watching and listening, go to trifectaairsoft.com, click on the Get Casted tab, and that'll take you to the calendar where you can pick a time and a date where if that's good for you, that's easy for you. That shows it should show you should have an option in there to show your local time if you're different than Eastern time, which is what I'm on, and so you pick your time. If there's not one available, and this is something I haven't told anyone, if there's not one available that is good for you, like if you're in a different time zone, message me. That's what the guy from Milsim, Hawaii did, because Hawaii's like 6 hours
Yeah, it's like 6
behind
hours.
us, I think, or ahead of us, or I can't remember. Behind us. Anyway, so they, we messaged back and forth. Same thing what we did today, right? We messaged
Yep.
last night and this morning, whatever, and to figure out the time. So that I'm very flexible with that. So go on there and get casted on our podcast. So
Oh,
I appreciate you guys.
one last shout out to Exfog. I run their products as well.
Nice.
Good guys. I love Exfog. You can also find me at Conflicts 9 in Hobart, Indiana, May 19th through the 21st. And then again, if you miss me there, you can also find me in Mastatuck, June 25th, I think it is, and 6th, with American Milsim. I will be running UFS. It is a sold-out event for the AMS game. You can get your tickets at Cobra Airsoft or Blast Camp. They'll send links for pre-registration to Conflicts 9. Come out. It's an old great missile silo. It's a hell of a time.
Awesome, man.
Thank you
Pineapple,
again.
thank you so
Yes.
much, man. It was great meeting you. And the next time we get on, we'll go over your story,
Ah,
and we'll do the first part. You'll go over your life story, then we'll transition into a gun show, and you can show us all your shit.
absolutely. I'll
Awesome,
do it.
man.
I'll do it in my room, and I'll get everything propped up and ready to go for you.
That'd be great, dude. All right, brother. You
All
have
right,
a good
man.
day, man.
We'll see you.